What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the show, and what a show today is going to be. Would you look at that? It is the Cenobites' 50th episode.
50th episode. Dusty, we did it.
I think we did. We finally made it. That's how you know you made it, right? If you make it to 50. It took us 2 years to do it, but here we are. We are covering the Blair Witch Project from 1999 by request. I'm Dusty Lane.
I'm Jason Mitchell.
And we are the Cenobites. I'm so sorry.
Hello?
I came for you. We have such sights to show you.
It was an excellent day for an exorcism.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
I want to play a game.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. This is God.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
Let your brothers into the door!
But sometimes that is better.
Welcome back to Oblivion, everyone. We are the Cenobites, and as stated at the beginning of the episode, we are covering the Blair Witch Project from 1999 today, and it's a special occasion. It's our 50th episode.
Number fucking 50.
The big 50. We're over the hill.
That's a lot of fucking episodes.
It is a lot of fucking episodes. Can you just let's appreciate for a moment, because it's not like we release a lot. We just release bi-weekly, for the past couple of years. We have full-time jobs. We do this in our spare time. It's a passion project sort of situation. But here's the deal. So much time goes into planning. What episode are we going to do? Okay, so let's sit down and take notes on that movie. That's hours of work at times. And then actually recording the episode, which can be hours of work. And then sitting down at a computer for hours, editing the episode. How much time do you think we've spent?
Well,
real time. How many days worth of time do you think we spent crafting this podcast?
There's 100 hours of content to listen to, roughly.
Yeah, there's got to be. It's
2 hours.
If not, then it's at least close for sure.
Right. So fuck.
Fuck indeed.
Yeah. But we're here and it's fun. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fucking fun. I'm having a good time. Are you? All right, never mind. I'll go fuck myself. Okay.
Kidding.
The Blair Witch Project, once again, directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, written also by those same two people, as well as Heather Donahue, who plays Heather Donahue.
Clever.
Studios involved Haxan Films, which is an indie company created by the directors, along with Greg Hale, Robin Coey, Michael Manello, and it's named after Benjamin Christensen's 1922 silent documentary horror film Haxan, which is The Witch in English. It was released in the U.S. in 1968. The title, when it was released, was Witchcraft Through the Ages, so a little thematic resonance there.
Oh, wow.
Fucking A. Distributor, Artisan Entertainment and Summit Entertainment. Artisan was the U.S. release, Summit was international. Rated R, 81-minute runtime on this bad boy, so not too bad.
No, I think it's pretty good. We could have went maybe a little shorter, but I feel like it's all pretty necessary.
Yeah, a lot of it kind of started to get a little samey, but I think that's part of the charm in it, and we'll get into it a little bit when we talk about why I think that is.
Right.
Our setting is in Burkittsville, Maryland, and the surrounding Black Hills Forest. They filmed this at the Seneca Creek State Park, as well as the house that they encounter at the end is the 200-year-old historic Griggs House.
Oh, shit.
In Patapsco Valley State Park.
Okay.
Our plot for this one, 3 film students don't buy into the hype of a local Maryland legend, the Blair Witch, so they fuck around and find out, deciding to film a documentary about it. Unfortunately, all that's ever seen of them again is the footage they left behind. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I don't know. Watched enough of these movies. Leave shit alone.
Yeah, quit fucking with it, man. You don't have to touch everything.
They're saying there's this witch out in the woods out here.
Yeah, whatever. It's bullshit. I don't buy it.
Yeah, fuck them. Let's go fuck with it.
That's how it always fucking goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poltergeist or fucking...
I'm going to stay at home.
I do wish that the house at the end of this movie would have just gotten sucked into the ground. That would have been pretty great.
That fucking house was so crazy to me. I know it was wrapping up from the end and whatever. It was just...
It's fucking wild in there, dude.
Hey, there's a house. I
Mm-hmm.
think Josh is in it. Let's go. And I'm like, what the fuck? Which, I don't know. No other options at that point, right?
But you didn't get an invite either. Now Jason's going to go fuck himself. Cast list on this, we've got Heather Donahue as, herself. Here's the thing. It's a weird thing in this movie where our main 3 actors are real people. They just use their real names for these roles. But they're not playing themselves, technically. They're playing a character with their same name. Because, these people weren't the ones that created the Blair Witch Project, and they were, felt like going out to film it, whatever. Heather specifically ended up being cast after answering a very specific question, and that question was, you've served 7 years of a 9-year sentence. Why should we let you out on parole? And her answer to that question, whatever that answer may have been, got her this role.
What?
Crazy, right?
That is crazy.
I want to know so bad what her answer was.
So
I couldn't find it anywhere in all my research.
She was on parole?
She was not, no. The question was, hey, hypothetically, you've served 7 years of a 9-year sentence. Why should we let you out?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That's one way to do it, for sure. We've also got Michael C. Williams as himself, Joshua Leonard as himself, and he was cast due to his knowledge of how to hold a fucking camera and push a button.
Well, hell yeah. Makes sense to me.
We've also got Patricia DeCoux playing creepy-ass Mary Brown toward the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only other person other than our main 3 that had a name, even.
Yeah,
I think they might have displayed... I can't... Thinking about it right now, I can't think back and see if they, displayed their names on the bottom of the screen, the lower third, while they were interviewing the people in the town. I think they probably did.
I didn't notice.
Did they not? I don't know. Either way.
So they're just quick interview shots anyways.
Right.
They're not, big characters by any means, or...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Small cast and even smaller, name recognition for any of these. For example, Mark Mason played the man in the yellow hat, and I'm like, oh, fuck, Curious George is in this bitch? Plenty of trees for him to swing from.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to identify these people while I was watching, what guy is the resident interviewee?
Right.
Is this the fisherman?
Right.
I don't know. Who fucking cares?
They're all residents and interviewees, right?
Right.
I only got one other name on the cast list, and it was only because I couldn't not get it, because her name is Susie Gooch. That's the lady with the kid. And
Susie Gooch.
Oh, Susie Gooch, baby, I love you, Susie Gooch. Oh, man, it was just too funny a name not to include, But moving on from the cast specifically, let's go to the crew a little bit. Cinematography on this one handled by Neil Fredericks.
Yeah, dude. You're not going to believe this.
Oh, shit.
I mean, maybe you are. Evidently had a strange death in 2004. Real life. This is not fake. This is not along with the movie.
Oh, damn.
They were filming scenes for a movie called Crossbones when they were in some kind of Cessna, some smaller plane, private aircraft.
Okay.
And
Sky Pirates? Crossbones? Jolly Roger? Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
This was in 2004, though. But they were trying to get some aerial footage, and the engines failed.
Oh, no.
And everything went down, and they went into the water, but he had tied himself into the plane because he was kind of hanging out for camera shots, so he drowned. Yeah.
That's fucking awful.
Isn't that crazy?
Jesus Christ. All right, well, sorry for the fucking downer, everybody.
Well, I was kind of like, this
he did
is
real
crazy
good in
just
this
because,
movie.
The witches. I don't know, dude. Maybe it's all...
Yeah, is it like a cursed film like The Exorcist, Poltergeist,
Maybe.
like we talked about? Like, there's so many stories about those movies and many, many more. It's like, oh yeah, the movie was obviously cursed. So many people from the cast died in weird ways, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
etc. The set caught on fire, whatever. Music in this movie handled by Tony Cora. There's not a whole lot to speak of because that seems to be the case with found footage films in general. In order to add to the realism of them, you don't include music because that would suggest production value, which would suggest that, someone took the time to make this all fancy and they wouldn't do that for something that was evidence,
Right, for sure.
But I think what he did on this was very minimal and very appropriate for each scene. I think it just created a general creepy ambient energy, and I fucking dug it.
Yeah, no, it was good. Like you said, wasn't really all over the place, but enough. You can see where Paranormal Activity got it from.
Right.
You know, a lot of just ambiance and kind of hums. And
Yeah, this is kind of the granddaddy of found footage as it exists today. Because it's not that there hadn't been found footage films before that, but this one really took it by the horns and did something with it, you know?
Right.
Inspired a lot of, I'm not going to say copycats because they're not, carbon copies of this by any means, but, trying to cash in on that same formula.
Right.
Famously, no special effects in this movie whatsoever, leaning more into the sound, into the actor's fear and like the cute little stick figures and whatnot to create a terrifying atmosphere. I think it works really well.
We got some special effects. What about the bag of eyeballs or whatever the fuck?
Whatever was in it, do you consider that? I mean, I guess it is special effects. You have to make some fake fucking fingers
Some
or
kind
whatever
of
was in that
goop or
sack.
whatever what was even in there? I don't remember.
I don't
thought
think
it was eyes.
I think there might have been an eye, there might have been a finger, there might have been a tongue. I don't know. There was all kinds of crazy shit going on in there.
Voodoo.
But I mean, there was nothing. There was obviously no like practical effects beyond like there wasn't anyone getting gored in this movie.
Yeah.
So no like CG, nothing like that. And it was early in that time anyway. So I think they made the right call on it.
No, I agree. Yeah. Kind of scarier that way too,
1,000%, yeah. Taglines on this. First of all, everything you've heard is true. No, it's not. And also, scary as hell, which, yeah, especially in 99, people didn't know what they were getting into, and they thought that this was a true story going in because of the viral marketing thing. Yeah, it was probably fucking, if it didn't scare you, at least it made you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Likely.
Oh, yeah. I imagine how bad it sucked working for this guy. You come and shoot this movie, and then you got to hide out for a couple years afterwards and lay low. You're using your real fucking name.
Right. And that was the thing. Heather Donahue, at least, was not pleased about having used her name because she said it made it harder for her to get roles.
Oh,
afterwards,
yeah.
Which I don't really understand. Like, who gives a fuck?
It's all kind of weird, like, little not horror related, but I feel like something very popular was Seinfeld, and it was the people that were George, Elaine, and Kramer had trouble finding work afterwards because you were George, Elaine, and Kramer for 8 years, 10 years.
So people couldn't identify them as anything else?
You're just always. And I mean, if I'm comparing that to, well, you're the chick from the Blair Witch that traumatized everybody in 1999 and her face sticks. Is that the...
Maybe it just depends on the actor and what they're doing, and do they have the capacity to pull off different roles that, don't necessarily call back to their original from the thing you know them from,
Yeah, I guess, you're definitely more right, because that would be trying to say, you can't cast Tom Hanks again. He's Forrest Gump. He's too good at it,
Oh, well, he's too good at everything,
He continued to land roles. What I'm saying is, I know it's not the same, but it's, like you said, can they adapt?
That came a little later in his career, though, too. He got started in the 80s, and he already had, like, Big and fucking, Money Pit and all that other shit. Was he in the Money Pit? Is that correct? I might be thinking of something
Maybe this
else.
was
But
all...
anyway.
This might have been all bad analogy.
The Burbs. Well, dude, we totally got to cover The Burbs one day.
We should cover The Burbs.
That's a fantastic horror comedy. So this movie was created by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, right? They developed the premise of this movie in 1993, wanting to combine the documentary-style filming on paranormal phenomena, which, because they had found a few of those documentaries scarier than traditional horror films, they wanted to blend that with traditional horror elements. So they wrote a 35-page screenplay with dialogue to be improvised. They put a casting call in Backstage magazine, and eventually landed on Heather, Mike, and Josh. Production started in October 97, and principal photography lasted only 8 days. That's not bad.
Wow.
They were shooting along the Greenway Trail by Seneca Creek in Montgomery County, Maryland. 20 hours of footage was shot, and it was whittled down into 82 minutes.
Holy shit.
Holy hell. That's a lot of editing.
I was going to say, a lot of cutting.
I complain about these 2 hours that we put in. The inspiration for some of the lore of the movie came from a few different places, but all based in witchcraft one way or another. So the ghost of Ellie Kedward is said to be the Blair Witch herself, banished for witchcraft in 1785. That name is an anagram of Edward Kelly, who was a 16th century mystic. Rustin Parr, the fictional 1940s child murderer, is an anagram of Rasputin. There are also allusions to the Salem witch trials, as well as the Crucible, trying to play on the themes of injustice done to those accused of witchcraft. And they were, of course, inspired by several movies, including Jaws, in that you never actually see the witch. Like, much like the shark threw a lot of that movie, it just increases the sense of suspense and the unknown to the viewer.
Right.
Which I really appreciate. Another element I thought was really great in the production of this is the way that they communicated with the actors and at times sort of tortured them.
Dude, that's fucked.
It is. Like, sometimes people take it too far. I think they were on the right side of the line in this one. Because, like, they had walkie-talkies that they would use minimally. So, like, if they needed to, they had a line to the crew.
Right.
But the actors were mostly given clues to the next locations along with stage directions, essentially. And, like, 35mm film cans left in milk crates for the actors to find along the trail and shit. They had, like, satellite navigation units that would lead them to these things. And when they found them, the actors were given individual instructions to help guide their improvisation for each day. And then at night, they were harassed and deprived of food and fucking, you know, spooked 5 ways to Sunday, whatever. But that's borderline not great, like you said. That's another one of those, like, Kubrick-esque devices for getting a better performance. You know?
Like, come on, man. You know what we should do?
It's a prank, bro. Don't tase me.
We should fucking starve their ass. I bet you they'll act better.
Well,
and I mean, no, I understand.
It lends to the rundown, like, tired, weak, you know.
Did they agree that, yes, I don't want to eat tonight. I'm going to skip this meal so that way I perform my acting a little bit better for the scene? I can see that, but it doesn't sound like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Probably not, yeah.
Like, hey, there's a table of food over here if you're starving, but if not, you know, you don't have to eat. Sure, that's fine. But that's completely different than we just didn't give them food, and they're out in the middle of the fucking woods, and we're going to yell at them all night.
What are you complaining about? There's squirrels and berries and shit.
Squirrel.
Part of the harassment came in the form of a white figure when Heather's running away from the tent, which is just the movie's art director, Ricardo Moreno, and he's dressed in white long johns and white stockings and white pantyhose pulled up over his head. There were some teeth obtained from a local dentist to use as human remains in this movie.
Hell yeah.
So long story short, they were trying to do everything they could to intensify the experience of the actors themselves and lend to the realism, which is what they were really riding on to make this shit scary, as opposed to a bunch of fancy effects.
Right.
So speaking of which, let's talk about the marketing. The film's official website featured fake police reports, missing posters, newsreel-style interviews fielding questions about the missing film students, trying to spark a debate about whether the film was real or not, and of course, like we said, the actors used their real names, which Heather didn't appreciate afterwards. A couple of trivia bits to mention before we get into it. You know, the actors had walkie-talkies, like we said, so as not to get lost during filming, but they got lost 3 times anyway.
Oh, I'm sure. So they were really lost.
They're like really like lost.
Yeah.
Even though they had navigation units and walkie-talkies.
Right.
Got all turned around in there somehow, which it's not that hard to do sometimes if you're not particularly privy to forest survival, I guess.
Fucking Heather annoys us. She's like, you can't get lost. This is America. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Yes, you can.
Happens every day, it turns out.
Yeah.
But like the scene where the actors wake up to the tent shaking violently was not scripted, and the actors were actually shitting their pants.
Oh, damn.
And Heather's mom received sympathy cards from people thinking her daughter was actually dead.
Right. Oh, yeah. Man, how did she feel about that?
It's gotta be strange. Like, on one hand, it's like, man, my daughter did a real good job in this movie, acting so good.
I'm so proud, but
right.
Man, what happens when she really dies? Nobody's going to believe it. She cried shit wolf. You know?
He cried shit wolf.
On the big screen.
Oh, man. So the 3 leads from this actually thought the Blair Witch legend was real. They knew, of course, they were just making a movie. But they thought that the legend itself in the area was what the movie was based on.
Oh.
And it was only after the release that they discovered the whole thing was made up by Myrick and Sanchez.
So they were probably starting to get legitimately freaked out. Maybe,
right. Yeah.
You know? Wow.
So, I think that about covers the background on this. You ready to get into this motherfucking thing or what?
Let's talk about it, man.
Let's do it. So we open up with a couple of production stills and then a shaky-ass title card and an infographic telling us, in October of 1994... 3 student filmmakers disappeared in the woods near Burkittsville, Maryland while shooting a documentary. A year later, their footage was found.
Dude, you need to do some fucking voiceovers for like side
I am,
work.
right
like,
now.
No, like for like, we need a hookup for that.
Hey, if anybody knows if any voice acting needs done,
October.
I got a guy for it.
1994.
October 1994.
Yeah.
A camcorder fades in on Josh, I believe, filming an introduction to Heather in her apartment. And she's like, "Oh, I'm leaving the comforts of my home for the weekend to explore the Blair Witch. You might want to pack a little heavier, Heather."
Yeah. Calling it already, huh?
They go through a bit of the gear they're taking, including some books like How to Stay Alive in the Woods, because you never know.
Yeah, you might fucking need that, huh?
Right? Exactly. As well as an all-weather backcountry notebook and another containing an article on the events that took place somewhere called Coffin Rock.
Yeah, right away. Like, oh, we're definitely going to need to know about that.
Right. Must not have been Josh filming because they cut to him arriving, late, of course, and he pulls out this big old camera from his trunk.
Oh, dude, it's old school. All this stuff's old school. They keep talking about a DAL.
Yeah, what the fuck? They call... I wasn't familiar with whatever they're talking about,
either.
but yeah, they refer to it multiple times in the back half of this movie.
Let's look that up real quick since we're...
Sure. I thought they were calling it like a DAT or something.
Is
the
it a D?
The DAD? DAT?
Maybe
DAT.
it was a... Yeah, hold on. I thought it was a DAL. It might be a DAT.
Digital Audio Technification.
Digital audio tape recorder.
Hey, I did
Holy
it.
shit.
I did
How
the thing.
didn't we realize that this is going to be a very...
Well, I got the first two words, yeah.
very simple acronym.
Right.
It's 1999.
So there's a cool little back and forth of them filming each other. She's backing up holding the camcorder. He's shooting her on that big beast, which importantly is shooting it in black and white.
Right.
And they're a little behind schedule, so they go to pick up Mike while listening to some awful 90s alternative.
You think?
It's pretty fucking
I thought
bad.
It was all right.
This is apparently Heather's first time meeting Mike. He's Josh's friend, but he's very excited, for now, to be on the project. And Heather thanks him for getting the equipment together, mentions they have so much fucking battery power they could fuel a small country for a month.
Disagree.
And they make a trip to the grocery store and stock up for the weekend. They grab a bunch of fucking rice and fruit punch and oatmeal raisin power bars for Mike.
Yeah, this whole montage was kind of funny to me because we don't end up seeing them cook any fucking food. It seems like they run out pretty
It's never
fucking
referenced.
quick.
I appreciate it because they're going on a camping trip, dude.
I guess they need some.
Yeah, they get marshmallows. You need fucking... This is a staple for any camping trip.
Where's the beer?
Heather starts squeezing the bag and commenting how soft they are. There's a scene right here that immediately flooded me with nostalgia, and it's just the front of a diner decorated for Halloween, but it was just so fucking 90s Halloween decorations with, like, the sunlight hitting them just right. Man, all of a sudden I was fucking 10 years old again. This whole
Right.
diner's decked out in it.
Yeah, this is where we start getting a bunch of different interviews, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they talk to a waitress first inside the diner and ask if she's ever heard of the Blair Witch, and she's like, it sounds kind of familiar. My older sister went to Blair High School.
Oh.
All right, that's a problem. Can we not name things in our town after suspected witches, please?
Well, it turns out it's Blair County.
Yeah, that's a reveal we get a little bit later. So
Right.
yeah, they're trying to pull the wool over their eyes a little bit. But Heather mentions that just being in the woods around Halloween is creepy enough. She doesn't want this documentary to be cheesy at all. She wants to avoid all cheese.
Good luck.
I guess I probably should have done that too. But anyway, she wants this to be presented in the most straightforward way as possible. The legend is unsettling enough. They don't need to ramp it up for the viewers.
Right.
So cut to everybody gearing up for the first shot, and Mike prepares the slate as Josh asks if they should all cut their fingers and bleed on it.
Oh, dude, sweet.
Probably not. That's just asking for trouble, dude.
Gotta kickstart the story here, you know?
Well, they do, however, kiss it. Except Mike, he tries to eat it.
Right.
We cut to the first shot of the dock they're filming, showing us a welcome sign for the town of Burkittsville, Maryland, established in 1824. Heather narrates, giving us the info that the town used to be called... Anyone?
Blair. Who'd have thought?
Blair, Maryland, she tells us. It's just a small, quiet Maryland town, much like a small, quiet town anywhere. No more than 20 families laid their roots here over 200 years ago, many of whom remain, either on this hill or in the town below. As she's giving this performance, I'm like, hey man, I thought you didn't want cheese.
Right.
Because you're laying it on right now as if it's a plate of fucking nachos, dude. This is melodramatic.
That's dramatic.
Excuse me, that's dramatic. They get some shots at the graveyard mentioning there's an unusually high number of children laid to rest here, most of whom passed away in the 40s. More on that later. And no one seems to think there was anything particularly interesting about that time. However, legend tells a different story. One etched in stone. Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, first shot is done. Good job. Didn't skip the cheese.
Right.
But hey, I mean, I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah, they celebrate having their first, their opening scene done at the cemetery and start to interview some townsfolk about what they know about the legend. And this first guy who runs a little general store by the looks of things tells them about Rustin Parr, who is an old hermit living on the mountain. They cut to another lady holding a kid who mentions she's heard stories from friends and family about the Blair Witch, but she also heard about it on a Discovery Channel documentary she saw about ghosts and legends of Maryland.
Ooh.
Another dude says it was just a story his grandma used to tell the kids to make them go to bed early. And they're just like, oh, you can't stay up and walk around the house too much or the Blair Witch will come and get you.
Dude, that's fucked.
For walking around my fucking house?
If you get out of bed too late, the Blair Witch gonna get you.
What are you doing to those kids, dog?
Yeah.
Should have them taken away. Rustin Parr probably do a better job raising them than you.
Yeah, that's traumatizing.
This first dude mentions the winter of 1940, a bunch of kids started disappearing, but nobody knew why. So back to the lady holding the kid, she starts talking about the creepiest story she knows revolving around this legend, and this kid wants nothing to do with it. He keeps trying to cover her mouth to get her to shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
The kid's crying and shit. That's the thing. Walk around your house as much as you want. It's when you start conjuring the memory that shit gets real. Always listen to kids, man.
Yeah.
She says 2 men were out hunting and they were camped near the cabin that she was supposed to haunt, and they disappeared off the face of the earth.
Oh, shit.
Meanwhile, this kid's fucking losing it, yelling, no, no, no! Like turning her face toward hers, trying to plead with her to stop talking about it.
Right.
Fucking poor Ingrid is the kid's name.
That's scary.
And she goes, it's okay, I'm just telling a story, but it's not true. And then she turns to the others and she's like, it's true.
Yeah.
But back to the first guy, one day Mr. Parr came down to the market and said, I'm finally finished, which is some cryptic bullshit. Nobody knew what it meant.
Yeah.
Until the police went up to his property and found the bodies of 7 kids from the area.
Damn.
I thought that was kind of a low number. I was expecting something more exciting.
I mean, yeah, I guess when they said there was a shit ton of kids in the cemetery, but...
He just needed to get 1 kid for each of God's days. Is that what's going on?
I get... Yeah, I don't know. They say that he took the kids into the basement in pairs and made one face into the corner. Yeah. And then he would kill one, and when he was done, grab the other one out of the corner and kill that one too.
Which begs the question, why was it an odd number of kids that went missing? If he took them down in pairs, what the fuck happened for that? What was it, the first one? Was it a random in the middle? Was it the last? What happened?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Fucking treating these kids like bananas in pajamas. It's ridiculous. So they brought the kids out of the woods one at a time, their bodies, that is. And it really messed up the community, apparently. Parr told the courts he couldn't take the eyes of the kids watching him kill, which is why he made him face into the corner.
Damn.
I wanted to mention here, I just happened to notice the aspect ratio on this movie is like that 4:3, more square, made for TV style framing with the rounded corners. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool, adds to the realism, I think. But this was like it caught me for some reason, and at this point, I was like, oh shit, it ends up going that way through the entire movie because of the cameras they're shooting on.
Oh wow, I don't think I noticed.
Yeah.
I'm watching on Blu-ray. I wonder if it was updated or something, maybe.
I wouldn't think so. That's part of the delivery of the movie, I would think.
I'm gonna have to check.
There's another waitress at a diner that mentions she's believed in witches all her life and knows there are some in this area for sure. I'm one of them. We are the weirdos, mister.
Right.
And then we cut to an old-ass man. I think this might be Rustin Parr himself.
I was fucking wondering that. He seemed kind of...
A little bit sus.
You know a little too much.
And he's like giving the shortest, shittiest answers of all time because he's just an old fucking geezer. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Heather asks him if he believes in witchcraft, and he's like, nope, not at all. And then she asks if he's a religious man, to which he replies, yep. And she's like, alrighty, like, do you want to fucking expound on that at all? But I mean, that about sums it up, really. You believe in a dude walking on water and an 800-year-old dude building a big boat big enough to fit 2 of every animal, but witches? No, that's too much. Okay, then. But back to the lady with the kid, she's like, oh yeah, pretty creepy stuff, and I believe there might be something happening with her. Heather asks, well, does that mean that you believe that she might still be up there now? And she's like, I don't go up there. All right, well, that doesn't answer the fucking question.
Right.
But she's like, I believe enough not to go up there, apparently.
Right.
So the first guy that she was talking to comes back on and mentions everybody says the woods are haunted, but there was a crazy old lady named Mary Brown.
Ooh.
Cut to Mary's trailer. Apparently this dude told them where she lives, and they just decided to go talk to her directly. I feel like that's a bit of an invasion.
I was going to say, right when this happened, boom, they pull up to the trailer. I'm like, how in the flying fuck?
Yeah, we're not in Maryland. We're in Mayberry. You can just tell anybody where anybody fucking lives, any stranger that comes into town. What the fuck?
Yeah, how in the hell? Oh, okay.
They roll up on this dirty-ass trailer with an American flag in the window, and they get her to come out, still filming in black and white while she's standing up on her porch, holding what looks to be a Bible.
Yeah, something.
Honestly, dude, she looks like she's from the 1940s, or maybe the 1840s, or the 1740s. I'm not really sure. But she looks like she's either a witch herself or the victim of one.
Yeah, something is weird about this fucking lady, dude.
A lot is weird about this lady, dude. Heather asks her about an incident that happened to her involving the Blair Witch, and she walks down her steps saying, yeah, this is really kind of a scary story. This bitch is super creepy, dude. Like, wearing a long, simple dress. She's got a rosary hanging from her neck. She goes, to make ends meet, my dad and I would go fishing down at, I think she says Taffy's Creek here. I didn't have subtitles on my DVD.
Yeah, I don't know. Just down to the creek with her dad.
Down to creek.
And evidently got approached by the witch.
Yeah, she tells this story and she kind of sets it up like, oh yeah, I was laying down upon the leaves and then suddenly it felt like something was near me. I got kind of an eerie feeling, you know? It was like a woman, only on her arm and down her hands was like hair, like real dark, almost black hair, like a horse, like fur, like horse fur.
Ew, dude.
And she had a wool shawl on, and she didn't say anything, but she just kept staring. And then she opened up the shawl, and there was a dark horse fur all over under there, too. And you could see she was a female, but she was just kind of strange looking. And then the fucking story ends, and I'm like, cool! Thanks for that. I thought that was going somewhere. Speaking of going somewhere.
This lady's fucking crazy, I think is the moral of the story.
Well, thank God the crew here decides to go somewhere. We cut back to the car where they kind of make fun of Mary a little bit. They say, you know, they mention she thinks she's in the film business. She also thinks she's a ballerina. She thinks she's a historian writing a book on American history. She thinks she's a scientist who does research at the Department of Energy.
Scientist? I've never seen a ghost with horsehair.
I mean, you haven't seen all the ghosts, Jason.
You don't know that, Dusty?
You don't know that, Jason. You're right. I don't know that.
Motherfucking ghost. Horse.
Ghost
neck.
Horse. Ghost horse. Heather and Josh argue about whether they should be using meters or feet as their depth reference on the camera. And Heather's like, I fucking thought this was America. What are we in that there Europe talking about meters and whatever the hell they are?
Agree.
She's like, well, all right, let's not get into that fucking question. We're the only people that use this system. The rest of the fucking world gets by on the metric system.
It's the right
All right,
system.
You know what? Never mind. Not the time. But she's like, I thought you used this camera before. And he's like, I did once. We cut to the motel, and they celebrate a good day of filming and research with a couple of beers. Heather says they need to do an equipment check, and she needs to call her mom. And Mike's like, oh, okay. I got a bag of Utz and a beer. Check. And that's the extent of his equipment check. They roll a couple of feet of film just to make sure the camera's good. And Josh keeps it rolling longer than Heather wants it to. Like, she keeps telling him to turn it off. Like, this shit ain't free, bro.
Right.
And Heather tells him they've got a long day ahead of them tomorrow. A lot of hiking, a lot of shooting. Today was cake compared to tomorrow, so pour me a shot, fuckers. They start getting fucking lit in this motel room.
Terrible idea.
Yep. Did they end up drinking while they were out in the field at all? They didn't. They never mentioned it or anything, but like that would have been even worse. What if they were all fucked up and then the Blair Witch started messing with them?
Oh, like while they were out. Yeah, not that I noticed. No, I think this was just them kind of celebrating,
right?
Which kind of early, personally, but hey,
oh,
whatever.
What is this, like a fucking fat lady cigar situation, like Independence Day? They shouldn't celebrate until they're done.
Yeah, like what? Well, I don't know. Like, you fucking read something by a goddamn rock, and now you're back in the room getting fucking wasted, and you're talking about how bad tomorrow is going to be.
Well, apparently...
Maybe them being hungover has something to do with what's about to happen.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Is it breaking the rules of horror movies? Is that what we're doing here? Oh, shit. All right.
Maybe.
Well, Mike doesn't approve. He's like, you can't do that. You're the director. And she's like, fuck that. And while I'm on the subject, do we have any weed? Oh, snap. Heather parties.
Oh, shit.
They film her taking a big old swig of scotch out of the bottle and making a stank face about it. She's like, I fucking hate scotch. The next morning, they're all a little hungover by the looks of things, and Heather waves at herself in the mirror saying, welcome to day 2, while holding a cigarette because everybody fucking smoked in the 90s.
Yes, they did.
They drive along looking for the trail for a minute before cutting to when they run into fucking Jeffrey Dahmer fishing by the stream here. And Heather asks him if he's heard of the legend, and he's like, well, yeah, sure, but it's just a myth. And his fishing buddy says, you damn fool kids will never learn.
Yep, there we go.
I might have gotten away with it, too, if it hadn't been for you damn fool kids and your fucking dog.
Talk about breaking the horror rules.
Yeah, the harbinger here standing on the side of the creek.
Yeah, he warned you. Yeah, I wouldn't go out there if I was you kids. All right, cool, thanks. See you later.
Did you hear that stupid old fuck? Ha ha ha. But Heather asks him if it's okay she uses his face on camera. He agrees. They cut back to the official black and white camera for the first guy. He starts in on some story about a girl from the late 1800s, Robin Weaver, supposedly wandered off into the woods and disappeared. And the second dude's like, ain't no supposedly about it. She wandered off. Like bickering like an old married couple.
Right. Must have got lost.
3 days later, she appears back on her grandmother's porch, and everybody's mystified about it. Apparently, she was babbling about an old woman whose feet never touched the ground.
Oh, shit.
And the other guy chimes in talking about something he saw himself about 100 yards up the creek there. There was a white misty thing rising up out of the water, but he couldn't tell what it was. And the other dude's like, you're full of shit. And he's like, nah, man, I wasn't even drinking that day. But Heather asks about Coffin Rock, and the guy says it all ties into the story of Coffin Rock. Anybody worth their salt around here knows these woods have been haunted by that old woman for years.
Right.
And they drive along the road a little bit, past this creepy old shack, before they finally find a place to park and get their gear out. And Heather kind of dances in this big circle trying to lug this fucking huge pack onto her back while Mike just films her and kind of giggles to himself.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, I could help you, but I'd rather stand here and record.
Technology has changed so much. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Everything
so
you would need
small.
to do that these days is in your pocket.
Right. So crazy.
So they finally get all geared up and walk away from the car, leaving a water bottle on the roof. Not a great move for a few different reasons.
Oh, I didn't even notice. That would have been me.
Right. We cut to them walking along the creek, and she goes, we're on our way to Coffin Rock. We are totally on track. I definitely know where we are.
I know exactly where we are and where we're going. I'm going to say this for the next hour of the movie. I swear I'm not lying.
Well, if people would stop fucking questioning her, maybe she wouldn't have to keep saying it.
Well, if she would have just told the truth right away, okay?
It sounds like initially she at least did legitimately believe she knew where she was going.
She is playing the male role here. Like, when me and my wife go somewhere, she will ask me if I know where we are. And even if I don't, I do not tell her. That is how that works. Heather is the man in this trio out in the woods.
Right.
Are we lost? No, I know exactly.
I have the map right here. We started. See, look, this is where we parked. That's where the "You Are Here" star is.
Should we stop and ask for directions? Absolutely not. I know where we are. This is fine.
The problem is trying to figure out which way north is.
Yeah, the compass, evidently. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one she hides in her tits?
Yeah.
That we only find later? So it turns out they do find Coffin Rock. They set up for another shot at the rock itself, telling the story of what took place there.
Cue Dusty's cool voice here.
Well, they're on to roll number 5 already, I noticed. Well, wait, we can cut it. Whatever. Hey, man, we're 50 episodes in. We know what we're doing right now.
Right.
But they're on to roll number 5, I noticed when she went to snap the slate. And I'm like, damn, dude, you're blowing right through it. 5 rolls already?
Oh, yeah. And I haven't really done anything yet.
Right.
Just
not
that
shit.
first shot.
Just a few interviews, you know? But I like the scenery here. This big rock, like jutting up out of the stream, essentially. It's a really cool looking little spot. When she does snap the slate, she dramatically raises a book up and kind of sets up for a shot before launching into reading from the book.
Right.
And now you can do the thing again.
Cue Dusty's funny voice.
Oh, they're going to be like, ladies and gentlemen, Dusty. She goes, they went into the woods prepared to find death. What they found was a desecration of humanity at the site which trappers have often referred to as Coffin Rock. On top of the rock formation, the story of the torture inflicted upon these 5 brave men unfolded. Each was bound to the other, each man's hand bound to the next man's feet. And I'm like, oh fuck, they got a human centipede going on? Forming a solid structure out of men.
Cool, dude.
That's a top tier building material right there. Nothing holds up quite like sinew. She goes, blood at the edges of the hemp indicate that this act had been committed when each was alive and able enough to struggle. In the torso of each man, the intestines had been torn out crudely. On each man's sun-bleached face was indecipherable writing, cut into their flesh with an eerie precision.
Sick, dude.
The men, still entranced by the horror of what had happened, left to find the sheriff, and did not sketch the writing, and did not remove the bodies from the rock. Upon their return, vultures were seen at the rock, but upon inspection, the bodies had been removed by persons unknown. Oh man, not unknown persons. Anything but
Parts
that.
unknown.
The green bastard. The search party claimed that the stench of death was still thick, and whomever had taken the bodies had done so in a matter of hours. All right, that doesn't sound too impressive. Hours are long. That's a long time. 5 bodies in a few hours? Even 1 hour. Shit, I've done that before.
I mean, so what, did they have to, like, disassemble the cool body pyramid?
I guess.
I would think they would just pick up the whole thing.
No reaction whatsoever to me claiming to have done that before.
It was just normal conversation.
Between the two of us, yeah, sounds about right. Toward the end of what she's reading, a plane starts to fly overhead, and I'm like, God damn it, we're going to have to take this again. Son of a bitch. That plane just wasted $15 worth of film. It's like when we're in the middle of a recording and a loud-ass truck drives by, and inevitably one of us is in the middle of saying something important, so I'm like, fuck, I got to keep that in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She also just matter-of-factly closes the book and looks at the camera, and she's like, that happened here at Coffin Rock. Dun, dun, dun. So cheesy. This whole project is one big fucking fondue. There's so much cheese. She's not happy with the performance either, but she's like, fuck it. I mean, it felt really rushed, but it's because it's 4:15 and I really want to get to camp. Oh, damn, yeah, you better get where you're getting. All kinds of spookies come out in the woods when the sun goes down.
Yeah, dude.
When the sun goes down.
That's the big thing with hiking and camping and shit.
The Blair Witch is sexy when the sun goes down.
That fucking daylight will get away from you, you know?
She likes rubbing Mike's chest hair when the sun goes down. Oh, man. All right. So there are some random shots of the area here while she talks about, well, if it sucks, we can dub it. I got some B-roll. We can just do the shot without me in it. And honestly, it might be more compelling that way anyway.
Right.
Some of these shots are really kind of creepy, though. There's just a shot of the water with some branches floating around in it, raindrops lightly falling on it. And I think because of the quality of the black and white film and the camera they're shooting with, give it a really antiquated aesthetic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It just, like, it feels like it's from another time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, shit, it is kind of old now, you know, looking back.
It was kind of given the Ring video, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just like all the random disjointed images conjuring a sense of chaos and dread.
Right.
Basically what this entire fucking movie is. So cut to them setting up camp, right? It's pouring rain. Mike bitches about the size of the tent, and Heather's like, look, dude, I don't generally travel around with 2 dudes, all right?
Right. Looks like we're going to have to sleep all together.
So they can't get a fire going, but we got body heat.
Yep.
They do have a lean-in post, though, that I wouldn't lean too hard on because it's looking a little flimsy.
It's a nice
there.
lean and stick you got there.
It is not. I think it's snap in half immediately.
They have a quick conversation about farting in the tent.
Yeah, lay down some ground rules for inside the tent, whether they're allowed to smoke or fart in it. Both are a bad idea. And then when they wake up in the morning, Josh says, hey man, I heard noises all night, like 2 sounds layered over each other. One might have been an owl, but the other one was a total fucking cackle, bro.
Yeah, dude, cackling. And I kind of laughed at this because I'm like, fucking please, a little more descriptive, you know? Cackling like a fucking hyena, cackling like a group of...
Is it like Cackling Rosie?
Yeah.
Cackling Fuel?
Like a group of people, like, I don't know.
Right. Outside, they take a peek at the map to establish where they are to start the day's journey, and Josh gives her shit, unsure if she actually knows where they're going. He's like, oh, would that be a full of shit statement? And Mike nods. Like, they're making light of it now. Ain't gonna be so fucking funny later.
Yeah, she she admits here for a second that we got started off the map.
Right.
How do you get started off the map? If you're not on the map, you don't know where you are.
Was the map specifically of the wooded area? Is that the question?
I don't know.
I assumed it was like a town map, but I don't know. I guess I wasn't looking that hard.
Right.
He pans the camera across the camp, and they've got apparently every piece of fabric, aside from what's on their bodies, draped over these branches all over the place.
Right.
Trying to dry them out. And Heather says she's happy with the way the doc is going so far, and she's really impressed with our little Mikey.
Rude.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? I'm right here. She checks, or Josh checks her temperature a little bit and asks what the point, like what her take on the Blair Witch is. Is she real? Is it bullshit? What do you think? And she really doesn't know how to answer. They head back out on the trail for the day, arguing about shortcuts versus level ground because they're heading up this big-ass hill, lugging all this heavy-ass equipment.
Right.
That's a problem. They take a break since it's a little warmer today, and Mike takes off his shirt, and Heather jumps on the opportunity to admire his weird patchy chest hair.
Yeah.
It really is kind of wild. She's got a point.
Strange.
Part of me wonders if they shaved little patches into it, because what the fuck is going on with this dude's follicular situation, man? Like, alternating sections of, like, bald as your head versus Robin Williams' forearms.
Yeah. Ew.
Heather and Josh make fun of him pretending his chest is a world map. Josh is like, oh shit, there's Paraguay right there. She's like, I think I see Bolivia.
They say something about a dead mouse, too.
Yeah, well, there's a shot of a mouse corpse Heather's filming just like on the forest floor. And she's this, I feel like this is kind of fucked up because she's like close up on the mouse that's just laying dead on the ground, as is nature.
Mm-hmm. But
she like leans in real close and she's like, what killed this dead mouse? Witchcraft? Look, bitch, you're getting a little weird with it now. Can we focus on the project, please? I don't think the Blair Witch is after this fucking mouse.
Or Josh's chest hair. Or, I'm sorry, Mike's
Mike's chest hair. We have no idea what Josh's chest hair situation is. What if it was the exact opposite? Wherever Mike didn't have hair on his chest was where Josh did.
Oh, shit. Maybe it happened when they
Siamese
got into the
twins
woods.
And they got separated by the chest hair.
It was the Blair Witch. They kind of zoom in on Heather here, too. Is that the Blair Witch? No, it's Heather taking a piss.
Yeah, dude, peeing in the woods, man. Which, I mean, obviously, that's what else are you going to fucking do? They didn't get any shots of them shitting, though. They were there for days. They had to have taken some shits.
I would think so, yeah. I don't know. They're not eating anything.
Apparently. We cut to more walking. She's like, well, we should hit the cemetery that we're looking for in about an hour and a half. More creepy black and white forest shots here. And they start getting a little testy with each other for the first time. Josh pulls out the map just after Heather says she knows where she's going. Because he and Mike don't buy it, apparently. She's like, oh, well, I just fucking told you, but you're going to look anyway? Cool. But they've been hiking longer at this point than the boys feel makes sense for the directions they were given. And they're kind of nipping at each other right here.
I mean, no, he's totally in good reason here for calling her out because Mike literally just points out, how could you possibly know where you're going? We're just walking through the woods. There's no trail. There's no trail markers. There's nothing.
Yeah.
You can't know where you're going. We're just walking in a general direction, and she won't admit it.
Right.
And had she done so now,
right.
You know, fuck.
Everything would have fallen apart. But like, he goes, what, just because people told you there's a cemetery back here, you're going to take their word for it? We're lost.
Saying.
And she's like, nah, dog, I totally know where we're going. And he's like, yeah, just like you knew yesterday, and you knew it twice today. First you tell us 2 miles, then it's 2 hours, then 3 hours. Who knows how long now? And she fires back with, dude, you agreed to do this. And he's like, yeah, I agreed to come along on a scouted project, not to just traipse around the fucking woods.
Right. Yeah. And
this doesn't bode well.
Mike admits that he doesn't trust these guys, and I don't fucking blame him.
Yeah.
Like,
we're 20 minutes into the movie at this point, and they're already at each other's fucking throats.
Right.
Crazy. But Josh steps in to be the voice of reason. He's like, Mom, Dad, stop fighting. I can totally figure out the map. We're fine. I think we're going more or less this way. And we cut to a shot of Mike taking a stab at reading the map as well. Apparently Josh couldn't figure it out, but it's not looking too good for Mikey either. He says it looks all Greek to him.
Oh, yeah.
And Heather's like, yeah, bitch, exactly. You don't know where you're going. I do. Give me back my motherfucking map, you son of a bitch. He's like, all right, but I'm putting my trust in you that you know where we're going, although I don't really trust you. Hey, by the way, why do we have to have every fucking conversation on video? Go tape some animals or some shit.
Right. Yeah, they're getting pissed.
She's like, dude, we're doing a documentary. He's like, not about us getting lost. What the fuck? She's like, look, man, we'll all be back and laughing about this when we go back. And he's like, oh boy, won't that be funny? And we cut to a shot of them trying to cross a fallen tree across a stream, right? Josh ends up having to kneel down and crawl across the back half of it, which can be easy with that pack on, like going from an upright to a prone or semi-prone position.
Right.
I was really hoping he would fall in here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Didn't happen, damn it. And Heather's like, just think about how cool the cemetery is going to be when we get to it and how cool it'll be to be in a real film. He's like, hey, shut the fuck up, thanks.
Yeah. Aren't you excited to be at the cemetery?
No, I will be excited to get across this fucking log. But Mike and Heather struggle across as well, having a conversation about how they're, what are we going to do to get the camera across? But finally they do. It's back on the old dusty trail. And Heather calls out, you guys excited?
Yeah.
No, it's just fucking crickets, dude. No response. And she's like,
yes.
Okay. Like, no, I'm not excited. We've been walking for hours. No idea where we're going. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm irritated. It's only fucking day 2.
I've got to poop.
Everyone leave. I have to poop. Finally, they come across something interesting. There's a little section of woods here that look to be marked off with logs, as if to designate an area for something. That's a weird, almost, there's like a bird's nest looking thing against a tree, but it looks man-made, like a cage made out of twigs, and it's filled with rocks for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
More piles of rocks all over the place, and Heather struggles to remember the Bible story Mary Brown was telling him the other day. She's like, fuck, I wasn't listening to her because I thought she was a lunatic.
Right.
Well, that's not very good documentary filmmaking, Heather. Just goes to show she's out for the fame and clout. Usually when you're making a documentary about a thing, you listen to what people tell you about the thing, Heather.
You would think so, yeah.
But all she can remember is it was something about a pile of rocks. Do you remember what it was, Jason? Okay, me neither.
Nope, sure don't.
But hey, I'm not the one making a fucking documentary, right?
She ends up counting them, and there's 7 piles here. And they say
7
something.
rock piles.
Looks like an Indian burial ground. And I mean, I guess it kind of does. There's just a lot of weird piles of rocks out here.
The weirdest part to me is the weird rock cages attached to the trees. They get a close-up on one of them. That's when I would be asking myself, seriously, who would do this and to what end? Is that like the mausoleum of the burial ground here?
It kind of...
Ashes sprinkled on the rocks?
It ends up looking like what they find later on, the little bundle of sticks with the rocks in the bag. It kind of looks like that, but it's just floating in the tree. So I almost wonder, could they have opened these things that were up in these branches, and was there anything inside?
Yeah, potentially, for sure. But we cut to later that evening. It's dark now. They have a fire going. They're roasting weenies.
Yeah, they're cooking their Vienna sausages.
Yeah. She's like, witches in days gone by were roasted, just like my Vienna sausage.
I don't know. I'm not eating Vienna sausages, but I didn't know, like, pop the top and eat them usually, right? Didn't really think about cooking them.
I think I had them when I was a kid once. I don't really remember anything about them. Aren't they like mushy, grainy kind of bullshit?
It's like tiny little hot dogs, dude, in a little can.
But not even hot dog, like sub hot dog quality, which is really fucking saying something.
Right. They're like, don't go bad.
Well, there can, sure. But Heather gets a cool shot of Josh across the fire, and he starts singing the Gilligan's Island theme song. Probably not a great choice for morale here, buddy.
Right.
You're like, yeah, let's sing about people getting lost, marooned, stranded for years and years. Yeah, that's a good vibe.
Josh is the captain. Mike is Gilligan.
Well, she mentions, like, this ship has a good captain, not a beer-guzzling guy in a blue shirt. Hey, you leave the fucking skipper alone. What else has he got to do on that island besides Marianne and Ginger and Mrs. Howell? But Mike's like, he wasn't beer-guzzling. There wasn't any beer on the island. Josh is like, well, yeah, if they had beer, they would have had big-ass orgies. Oh, hell yeah, Mrs. Howell. But Heather says Josh is like the captain and Mike is like his Gilligan, and I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean, but I'm taking offense for Mike.
How rude.
Mike proves he's not the Gilligan, though, by saying, hey, quit calling him a captain, you illiterate TV people. He's the fucking skipper.
Oh, yeah.
The word is skipper. Fuck yeah, Mike, get him. But a bit later that night, they go back to the spot, and Mike comments that, hey, we're back at the rock thing. And at first when he said that, I thought they meant they had traveled some more and ended up back at Coffin Rock. Not the case. They're just filming some more at the little, makeshift cemetery.
Right.
And Mike knocks over one of the piles at what he called an Indian burial ground earlier, so he's fucked.
Yeah, Heather puts it back real fast, all nervous.
You can't disturb that shit. You just fucked up that ghost's eternal slumber.
Right. Something. You did something.
She puts the rock back, trying to fend off any bad juju he just got him.
I like how Heather asked, how was it? She said, same thing, only darker.
Yeah, talking
like,
about
the
like, yeah,
first
what did you
time.
think about the cemetery this time?
Yeah.
It's like, nothing fucking changed. What are you talking about? She kisses the rock before she puts it back. She's like, oh, can't be too careful. I'm assuming it looks the same, only darker because of the lack of sunlight, but that's just
that's
just
definitely,
spitballing here.
he was being a smart ass. It's kind of funny.
The shot abruptly cuts to a completely black screen, and Heather calls out, hello, all loud into the night. And she turns on the camera light and explains that they were just sleeping, and then they started to hear noises in the distance. A bunch of branches breaking, it sounds like. Heather's crawling around like a soldier in a training drill for a second, and then she stands up and starts trying to track down the noise, calling out the whole time, like, dude, you're probably talking to a huge deer right now.
Oh, yeah.
Big old buck trying to scratch his antlers.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like trees and branches are breaking here and stuff. And
they're really snapping.
And it's coming from all around him, too.
Yeah.
I kind of like that it's almost like the boys are being told to stay in the tent. And Heather's out there looking around again, you know.
Mom, go look.
It looks like Josh kind of gets out a little bit, but Mike says, fuck that, I ain't going, you know.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so they comment on like, oh, it's all around us, fucking weird. First of all, you mean scary and your signal to leave first thing in the morning.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But Mike doesn't want any part of it, dude. He's like, I ain't going down there. And she's like, and why not? He's like, because I don't hear shit. And she's like, no, it's because you're fucking scared. You could not call somebody scared in the 90s, or a chicken, or a pussy,
right.
or anything like that.
Hey,
Let me
man,
fucking tell you.
I ain't scared. I just don't hear nothing, okay? I didn't hear nothing.
Well, he's like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it sounds big as shit. Like, I'm not going to pretend, I would probably pretend not to hear it as well, so as not to fucking deal with it.
You know, I think whatever it is probably fine. It's knocking down trees, but it doesn't need me to go over there.
You're right. She tries to call him out like, no, dude, you cannot deny hearing that. So we cut to a shot of him with headphones on. They're literally part of the equipment. It's not like a Walkman or something like that, but I still thought it was hilarious. Right after her saying, hey, you can't deny you heard it, it just shows him with big-ass headphones on. I didn't hear shit. I got my mixtape on, dog.
La, 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 la.
It's the boot scoot boogie.
Yeah. What the fuck? It's all of a sudden
you just hear it all quiet in the background.
We had to cut your past city sign.
All right, stop. We're gonna get copyright flagged. Shut up. So the next morning, once again, it's raining like piss out of a boot. Josh mentions he's thankful for the rain gear his mom gave him for his 18th birthday.
You old Southern man.
You ain't ever heard that before?
Raining like piss out of a rain boot, I tell you what.
Well, my dad said it all the time. He thought he was Southern. But yeah, Josh mentions, I'm thankful my mom got me this rain gear. And she asks him what he thinks it was they heard last night. And he's like, well, I'm not sure, but I think it's someone fucking with your head. And she points out no one knows they're there. And he's like, yeah, but have you ever seen Deliverance?
Right.
Yeah, good point. She's got a purty mouth.
Yeah, Mike's tripping out already, but, you know, he said it sounded like a lot of people running around him. Maybe it's locals. I mean...
But
that's more...
Back the fuck up. Back up. What do you mean no one knows you're out there? You just got done interviewing half the town and telling them you're making a documentary and exactly where you're going.
Oh, fuck
Everybody
yeah.
fucking knows where you are.
Right.
And they might not know exactly, but I guarantee you chuckle fucks aren't hard to track.
Yeah, for sure. They're all fucking loud.
Heather half-ass apologizes for last night to Mike, but tries to justify it instead of just a straight-up apology. She's like, you understand I was just trying to capture it on film, right? And he's like, well, sure, but what I'm concerned about is if people are fucking with us, then they must have something wrong with them, and I'm not here to play with that shit.
Right.
She's like, well, what if it's not people? He's like, even fucking worse, dude. I definitely don't play with that shit either.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here, because right away you're thinking, wow, where are they? They're out in the middle of nowhere. It could be locals, but that's better than assuming it's a fucking witch.
1,000% of the time, I would prefer to deal with a human entity that I can possibly overpower if I get lucky, whatever.
Better than it's it might be some assholes that don't want them there versus
right.
the
Which is still scary, sure.
Yeah, right.
But not like supernatural shit you can't do anything about. I don't know.
Spooky.
Ooh. So we cut to more hiking in rain gear. And she's complaining about it being very wet, a very wet and long day. All their gear is wrapped up in garbage bags, and the yellow suit Mike was wearing kind of made me think of the Backrooms. Have you ever seen those? The Kane Pixels shorts. It's like found footage stuff, but it's like he totally did everything in CG.
Right.
So everything you're looking at, even though it looks like real people walking around, it's like everything's totally CG. It's fucking crazy. You should check it out. But maybe that was due to the found footage aspect of it.
Okay.
But apparently they've had enough at this point, and they're walking back. Heather says nobody's speaking to her right now. Yeah, bitch, I probably wouldn't either. You're going to get somebody murdered out here.
It's because they fucking know that she has no idea where they're going, and Mike decides to bring it up again.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's the same shit as earlier, essentially. Hey, I don't remember this being on the way to the cemetery.
Right.
Like, we didn't walk past this before.
Yeah, they're supposed to be walking back to the car, but they don't recognize anything?
Right,
What the fuck?
and she's doing the exact same thing. This is the fastest way.
Well, she
it was
says
the fastest way the way there. Wouldn't it be the fastest way back? What is it, a fucking triangle?
her justification is based on where they parked. The way we went to get there was the most direct way to those filming locations. Now that we're in the spot that we're in now, the way we're going is the fastest route back to the car.
She's
so,
saying
like,
we moved a little
shortest
bit
distance
off.
between 2 points is a straight line, so they kind of curved around. They're going to have to, like, go in a big arc to get back.
She's full of shit.
Right.
Yeah. She's full of shit.
She's like, I'm telling you guys, 2 more hours max. Dude, stop declaring times like that. You have no idea. That's just going to frustrate him more when you're wrong.
Right.
So I know what you're trying to do, but I think it's going to end up causing more harm than good, basically. They have an argument about why they're taking a different way back, and she mentions the thing about, that's the direct route, whatever. I personally don't think I would have chosen that option, but it kind of makes sense when she puts it that way. I would just rather stick to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to.
Yeah.
But 5 minutes later, they do a map check, and Heather says, yep, seems like we're still on course. And Josh is like, wait a minute, bitch, that's not what I said. She's like, no, dude, we're good. Let's just keep going. Okay, no, stop right there. Let's just keep going is not what I want to hear right now.
Right.
Because if you're wrong and you just keep going, you're going to get yourselves even deeper in shit and more turned around. So the boys are like, dude, we're in the middle of nowhere right now. How can you presume to know where we are when we're not even on a fucking trail?
Yeah, here we are again. The same fucking conversation,
Right?
Heather.
Well, she's like, yeah, man, we've been in the middle of nowhere for 2 days. The car's also in the middle of nowhere. Okay, that's not the fucking message here, and you know it.
Right.
But Heather wants to set up camp because it's going to start getting dark soon again, and Mike is not about that life. He starts yelling, we're not fucking camping here. Cut the camera off and get us home. And she's like, no, I'm not turning the camera off. I want to mark this occasion. What occasion? You losing your only 2 friends? But Josh wants to see the map, and Heather's like, well, it's in my pocket. You're just going to have to wait a second. And Mike starts to fucking lose it at this point. He's like screaming into the woods, like, God damn it, this fucking bullshit. And they try to calm him down and convince him, let's go find a tree to sit under and check the map. I was just thinking, you're literally surrounded by trees. Take your fucking pick, first of all. And 2, I was also thinking of a Goofy movie at this point where he's like, we don't need to check the map. But we cut to an almost totally dark shot. And Josh is like, are you happy? No, I'm not happy. The car's not far. We're just going to, we're not going to be able to find it in the dark. Josh is pissed because he's not only supposed to be at work in the morning, he's also supposed to have all the equipment that he borrowed back.
Right.
I got bad news for you, buddy.
Yeah. Right.
No
Hey,
call, no
man,
show, turns out.
This rental needs to go back. That'd be me talking about work. Hey, man,
Right.
we're fucking lost. I got to work tomorrow, you asshole.
But they finally do decide to camp for the night. Back to another totally dark shot. They're hearing the same noises like the ones they were hearing the previous night. And Heather's trying to get it on camera again. She crawls out of the tent, turns the camera light on, and sure enough, a bunch of sharp cracks again, like big branches breaking in the distance. The way that it sounds far away, but it's still a sharp, heavy crack is terrifying.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like, that tells me it's fucking powerful, whatever it is.
Right. You almost kind of hear what sounds like footsteps here, too. And one thing that I wanted to note is all of a sudden, and like this was, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say it was summertime, but it wasn't fucking.
It was fall.
It wasn't
for sure.
see your
It was
breath
October.
cold, but all of a sudden it's see your breath cold now for like the rest of the film.
I buy it, dude. They're in Maryland and it's October.
I feel like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I guess so. It didn't really. It wasn't pushed before. Maybe it was because it was a sunny, daytime, and they were, it was just warm enough not to see your breath. I don't fucking know.
Right. I think the breath kind of adds to the shots at night, though, too.
Well, that's the
It's
thing.
kinda-
Like, yeah, Heather comes out with the camcorder and she's shaking, maybe from the cold, maybe from fear. You don't really know. They speculate it could be a deer, but Heather doesn't think so. But moral of the story, they're all in denial, and you're all fucked.
Oh, yeah.
The cracks become a bit louder and more frequent. They say it sounds like footsteps, and then, like, from what? The fucking stag monster from The Ritual? What makes footsteps that sound like that? And Mike asks what time it is, hoping for daylight soon. He's like, please say it's fucking 5 o'clock or some shit. And Heather looks at her watch and says, it's only 3. Fuck. Sorry, Mike. We should be out of here already, she says. And then they wake up the next morning to find 3 piles of rocks now stacked up outside their tent.
Oh, shit.
Josh is like, nah, dog, those had to have been there already. And Heather's like, no, I think we would have noticed. This isn't a coincidence. And
Right.
I'm always a sucker for shit like that. Like somebody fucking with people while they're sleeping and at their most vulnerable.
Yeah, it's scary.
I just saw Weapons, and there's some of that going on in that, which was a great movie, by the way. You should totally go see that. Also, The House is October Built has a great scene with somebody sneaking into the main group's camper and filming them while they sleep.
Ooh.
Creepy shit. At this point, as creepy as it is, Josh doesn't give a shit. He just wants to get back to the car and get back home. And he's all pissy, and he's like, can we just walk? Okay, cool. Like, they both fucking hate Heather now.
Yeah, something doesn't want us here. Let's fucking go.
But she will not stop fucking filming, man. They're yelling at her to put the camera down, and she keeps trying to insist that, like, it's just because they're scared. Well, what does it fucking matter? The point is you got to go, so get fucking going.
Right.
I realized that if this was all they came to film, like what they got so far, this is a really shitty documentary. Like, they interviewed a few people, got some shots of a spooky rock pile and her reading from a book. 1 star.
Oh, dude, it's going to ramp up, though.
I mean, not intentionally, though. Like, if it was up to them, they would have already been gone. And fuck that documentary. I'm not watching that bullshit.
Right, right.
But we cut to a shot of Heather freaking out. She looks at Josh and says, did you take it? Oh, fuck me, dude. Now she can't find the map.
It's okay. I don't think she really
nobody
fucking
knew
needed
how to
it
read it in
anyway.
the first place.
Yeah. Was it really helping? Was it? Heather, I know you say it. I think you just wanted to pretend like you were in control.
Right. Oh, my God. He's like, well, I'm not playing head games. If anyone's playing head games, you're playing head games, but I'm not playing head games. So I ask you, Jason, do you think he's playing head games? Do you think he said head games enough at this point?
Head games.
It reminds me of The Thing when Childs is yelling at everybody. He's like, I don't believe this voodoo bullshit. You believe this voodoo bullshit, Mac? This is some voodoo bullshit right here. And it is. But either way, now they're completely fucked. She doesn't have the map. Josh is like, Heather, that is so not cool, man. I mean, that's like the least responsible thing you could have possibly done, man. And they try to retrace their steps mentally, concluding that they gave the map back to Heather last night after map check. And she says she's always kept it in the same place, and if it's not there, one of the boys had to have taken it. They're just bickering back and forth at this point, not really doing much to help themselves.
Right.
So the group is just imploding. Josh goes, I'm not going into your fucking pants to get your goddamn map, man. All I want to do is get out of here. She's like, that's all I want too, man. He's like, no, you want to stay here. You want to film rocks. You want to get this, get that.
That's fucking true.
She tosses a cigarette on the ground, interrupting him and saying, all right, whatever, let's go. But I hope it's damp out there. Turns out the Blair Witch was just pissed about the forest fire they left in their wake.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Josh is like, all right, well, which way are we walking? We have no idea where we are. And she just tosses up an arm, picks a direction. And she's like, that way. In a general, that way direction.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, that sounds fucking great. Mike calls bullshit on it. He's like, nah, let's keep going this way. We've been walking in this same direction for a whole fucking day. Let's just keep on it. We got to come across something.
That is the best plan.
I would think so. Well, okay, so not really. Like, have you ever seen those experiments where somebody walks in a straight line and then they blindfold them and have them do it again and they're fucking bobbing and weaving all over the place thinking they're walking forward?
Yeah.
There's a little more to it than that, turns out.
Right.
But they keep arguing about who has the map. Josh insists that without it, they might just be going in circles. And Heather mentions that they're following the creek, and Mike seems satisfied with that. At least that's one person not yelling at her anymore. And that's my point. Following the creek is probably the best move. Usually water leads to people.
Right.
But Josh and Heather have let Mike get a little bit further up at this point, and he screams back at him to knock off their shit as they kind of bicker behind him. He's like, let's fucking go! And then we cut to an interesting little interlude where it seems that Josh has not only given up, he's also kind of losing it. He lays on the ground with his pack on and starts rolling around in leaves. He's got this creepy little smile on his face. He settles into a little spot next to a tree and says, fuck it, I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah, might as fucking well, right?
He's starting to fucking get forest fever, dude. This is the point where the isolation and sort of claustrophobia sets in. Like, where you spend so long out in the elements, completely removed from civilization, no human contact, starting to feel hopeless.
Right.
A la The Shining.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love it when a movie takes me to that emotion. Like, this is where we live now. Fuck it. I'll make friends with a ghost bartender, whatever. You want to make some leaf angels and twig figures with me? Cool, here's your twine. But he's laying under this tree, and he's like, look, man, if you guys find anyone, tell them to come find me under the tree with the vine. Oh, right, that tree. I know that tree. And he sort of resigns himself here. It's a little sad and scary that you can see him having reached his breaking point. And nothing really scary has even happened yet.
Yeah, he's just kind of admitting defeat, you know. Heather still, you know, this area ain't that big.
Right.
False. This area is huge, Heather. You are an ant in this fucking
yeah
in this area, you know. And
well, Josh is saying, like, this is really fucked up. Mike points out they need to work together, and Josh is like, yeah, all right, no more playing the blame game without, you know, why is the equipment making it back to where it needs to be, or the fact that Josh is MIA at work. Look, bottom line, like you mentioned, the area we're in isn't even that big. We shouldn't have trouble finding our way out. To which Heather says, yeah, it's hard to get lost in America these days, and it's even harder to stay lost.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck are you having? It happens every fucking day. What are you talking about?
You get lost everywhere, not even just in the woods. We think people don't get lost in fucking Chicago.
Right. or in the country, even
anywhere.
Personally,
out here.
I don't feel like you can get lost in the country as long as you know the alphabet and how to count.
Well, we're not. That's just our county, I think.
Oh, well,
I don't think
fair.
everywhere else ain't like this. But regardless,
I feel like it must be pretty common, right?
It's
like pretty standard. Like,
I don't think so.
No, okay.
I think that's why people are confused when we try to explain it to them. They're like, "What?"
Well, when I tell somebody I live at fucking C and 2, you know what I mean? Like, you should be able to fucking look at the signs and find it. I don't live at C and 2. I was lying to you. Just that I was throwing them off the scent in case anybody was trying to stalk me after I give out my address. But Josh stands up. He's like, all right, so people are going to start to notice when we don't show back up where we're supposed to be, and they're going to come looking for us, right?
Hey, he's right.
And so not all hope is lost.
He's definitely right. But, yeah, did you just tell him you're going into the woods? Because there's a lot of woods all over the plate.
Well, sure.
It depends on, I don't know.
I'm sure they probably said we're doing a documentary on the Blair Witch. Where does the Blair Witch live? Okay, we got it. But we get a quick shot of them crossing another stream. Oh, shit, man. Don't cross the streams. It would be bad. And it is bad for Josh. He slips a little and gets his whole fucking like leg wet and shit. Some of his equipment, I think. But Mike was just about ready to cross at this point, and now it's his turn to lose it. He just doubles over in laughter, and I don't even think it's about Josh getting wet. He's just slap happy at this point, like staying up too late.
Yeah. Oh, and he drops a big bomb too.
Dude. He well, okay, so we cut to a shot, like the payoff of that scene is cutting to a shot of Heather's feet that are now all wet up to the ankle, and they're both laughing at her. And she's like, oh, I'm glad you guys find it so amusing that I'm going to be uncomfortable for the rest of the day. And Mike is cracking again, laughing uncontrollably, and he starts yelling into the woods again. Heather has an epiphany at this point, and she's like, hey, you guys weren't lying about that map, were you? Because it seems like you're having a little too much fun at this point.
Right.
They're like, nah, man, they're just at the end of their rope, you know? And she's like, well, I just want to know that you have it. Like, it would make me feel better to know that you have it. Like, the desperation stage. Please, Josh, please just tell me you have it, please.
Right, yeah, she's starting to get more scared.
And he doesn't have time for it. He gives her the white trash flip off and walks away. But we cut to a bit later on the trek. Heather's getting pissy with him about laughing at her wet shoes, but Mike's like, dude, we all have wet shoes. We're laughing at the situation. We're tired, we're hungry, etc., but Here's where things take a turn. Like you said, Mike can't stop laughing, and then...
Wahoo! Turns out, Mike kicked the map into the creek yesterday.
Yeah.
And I understand everybody getting upset about it. But at the same time, I think I'm on Mike's side here. The map was doing nothing.
It
Heather's
doesn't
been
matter.
lying
How many
for
times
days.
do I have to say it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it?
That's true.
I don't give a fuck what your deal is. Like, you're pissed at the situation in the moment. You're just going to boot something that could prove valuable into a fucking creek like a douchebag? Fuck you, dude.
Dusty, we should go for a hike.
You should fuck off, Jason. He's like, yeah, I know it's fucked up. Listen, and he's laughing the whole time. He's like, I kicked that fucking map into the creek yesterday. It was useless. I kicked that son of a bitch into the creek.
It's a dick move, but Heather's been lying for days, Dusty.
But, like...
Days. They started
lying
not on the
just...
map. They didn't even start off using it.
Either way, I would have reacted the same way they did. Like, I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? You're kidding, right?
Oh, yeah.
Heather walks up screaming at him, and Josh comes up and starts shoving him a couple times.
Yeah, dude. About to be a
Immediately
wrestling
confrontational,
match.
yeah. He's like, get the fuck off me, man.
Right.
She's losing her mind on him, fucking shrieking, what the fuck, are you out of your fucking mind?
Well, now she doesn't have to be the reason that everybody's going to die out here. She can blame it on Mike.
Right.
That's why she gets all fucking loud. She's like, yes,
Right.
I can fucking pin it on you, you dick.
Well, he insists it wasn't doing shit for him anyway, but she screams that maybe he didn't know how to read it, but she did. You're a fucking asshole.
Right.
But he apologizes, but the damage is done. She tells him if they get hurt or die out there, it's your fault now. And Mike and Josh get into a little bit of a scuffle. They continue their screaming match for a little bit. Mike's still insisting Heather didn't know dick about the map. Mike goes, I asked you what fucking river we were on the other day, and she just bullshitted her way through something. But he walks up yelling this and pointing his finger in her face. Like, it's pretty intense.
Oh, shit, yeah, I thought.
And then she ends up shoving him.
Right.
Like, boys, everybody relax. You're all getting keyed up, and that never helped anybody.
I like when this all starts to settle a tad, and Heather's like, all right, give me the compass.
Right? She's like, you've betrayed us fucking beyond, way fucking beyond.
Right, but then Josh is like, wait a minute. No, give me the compass. You know? So,
Well, she's so pissed she can't even admonish someone properly.
right. It's like, well, she had it this whole time and it didn't help, so just let me have it. You
Well,
know?
she mentions him betraying them, and he gets in a zinger. He's like, oh, yeah? Well, you betrayed us when you couldn't get us out of the woods last night. Like, nobody can accept responsibility for anything.
Right.
Everyone's just lashing out at each other.
And while this is all going on, I thought, why are we stopped? I know you guys are all pissed and this sucks, but start moving again.
Right.
Like now. Fucking go.
Josh pipes in here. He's like, I want to hold the compass too.
Yeah.
But it's like he just wants to be included at this point. Just happy to be here. And Heather's like, no, you can't hold the fucking compass. Go get your own goddamn
He
compass.
just
If you
doesn't.
wanted one, you should have brought it.
His trust is gone too, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No one thinks they can rely on anyone else
Yeah,
at this point.
I'd
That's why
be-
everybody's fighting over the compass.
Yeah, I'd give me the fucking compass.
Right. But he's like, why can't you just admit it, bro? You've been fucked since the beginning. And we cut to a scene where they're all just standing, kneeling, sitting around. And Heather's like, yo, dude, why are we stopped? We had a plan to keep heading south. Can anybody tell me why that's
Yeah,
not a thing
fucking
anymore?
move.
And Josh tells her to shut the fuck up. And we cut to Heather running through the woods as we hear one of the guys yelling in the distance. He's like, hey, come check this out. There's a bunch of more voodoo bullshit. Some voodoo stuff up here or something, man. And the voodoo stuff he's referring to are a bunch of like bundles of twigs fashioned into some sort of to kind of resemble a person, but there's a ton of them in this little patch of woods, like an alarming number that they stumble upon.
Yeah, dude, all sizes hanging all over the trees.
And it's the symbol on the front of the cover that you've seen, you know, it's almost a star pattern-ish.
Kind of. It looks, I think it's supposed to be a person.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think it is. Yeah.
Some kind of voodoo shit, man.
Yeah. So Heather starts getting a bunch of shots of him on the black and white film, and I found it interesting how instantly mesmerized by him everybody was. Like, everybody's losing their minds immediately upon discovering this.
Dude, I'm like, something bad's gonna happen.
Something.
And then fucking Mike's like, this is too creative for rednecks. You know, that's enough. Stop fucking taping me. We need to leave. You know, and that's
Well, too creative for rednecks. I don't know about that, dude. Haven't you ever heard of a little guy by the name of Alan Jackson?
Yeah. What does Alan Jackson have to do with witchcraft?
Well, he's a redneck. He's super creative, though. Dolly Parton? Kid Rock? Is that better? I rest my case. But yeah, dude, they're standing in this little clearing, and these things are fucking everywhere. All different sizes. Some are kind of tacked onto trees, some suspended from branches. Either way, there's a shitload. And they get a bunch of shots again, and lo and behold, Heather can't stop filming stuff, and the guys get pissed off at her again. She walks past all the figures saying, okay, I'm leaving. And I don't know if she's talking to the boys or whatever entity seems to be fucking with them. Like,
Right.
maybe there's something to this Blair Witch stuff after all, huh? The kid at the beginning tried to warn you, man.
Right. Yeah, he did.
Mike starts screaming for help at the top of his lungs, like, please help us.
Yeah, fuck. Dude, he's yelling fuck over and over.
Yeah. Heather's like, that's not the way to get out of here, dude. But cut to them aimlessly wandering for a minute, and Heather says, I think it's safe to say at this point we're lost and we don't know what to do. Oh, now it's safe to say that. Okay. Has that not been happening for the last 2 days now?
I guess it just happened. She finally got turned around.
We jump to a shot of them having set up camp again. Josh suggests that they all get in the tent and just call it a night. And Mike mentions he doesn't think that they should light a fire either. The last 2 nights they've had fires and shit's been happening. But nothing happened the first night when they didn't because it was raining. And he's like, turn the camera light off even. Maybe that's how they're tracking us. Fucking jinkies.
Yeah, so they're thinking that, yeah, they're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, they're lost. But these locals are able to spot them because obviously it's the only fire for fucking miles.
Yeah, or light, yeah.
Or light from, So that's a pretty good fucking idea. You know?
And when the light cuts out, it's fucking pitch blackness.
Yeah.
And when it kicks back on, Heather's freaking out over having woken up again, reacting to more noises outside the tent. So apparently that didn't fucking matter a bit.
And she immediately turns the light on.
Yeah. The other 2 wake up as well, and they all have a little collective breakdown. I couldn't really make out anything discernible, probably because I didn't have fucking subtitles, thanks DVD. But it just kind of sounds like animal noises for a minute, but very alien as well, like as in foreign. Like, it sounded animalistic, but unlike any animal I've ever heard. The point is, it sounds like it's coming from right outside the tent.
Yeah, and it starts like pushing up on the tent and shit too here?
Well, yeah, Heather puts some pants on and they gear up to capture whatever the fuck this might be when the noises outside kind of change to what sounds like maybe kids playing and laughing outside the tent.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the tent, right on cue, the whole thing starts shaking violently from all sides. They've had enough. They all just dart out of the tent and into the night. And the funny thing is, they don't see anything immediately upon exiting the tent. Like, there was just something shaking the shit out of it. And the second they exit the tent that was shaking, there's nothing there on the outside of the tent to have been shaking it.
Right.
Really good shit right there. I think it's sold really well. It kind of freaked me out a little bit. But the group hauls ass aimlessly running into the woods until Heather starts screaming, "Oh my God, what the fuck is that? What is that?" And I believe what she's talking about is this figure that's all dressed in white like we talked about earlier. They all get far enough away from the danger to post up in a little spot together, and they're all whispering about what the fuck just happened. And one of them's like, "Dude, did you hear a baby scream or something? What the fuck was that?"
Right.
And another one starts just repeating, "There's no fucking baby out there. There's no fucking baby. Tell me there's not a baby out there."
Yeah, they get kind of hunkered down in this tall grass and cut the lights off.
Yeah.
Which is another good idea. That's what I would have did too.
Oh, for sure. I might have left the camera behind trying to distract, like, lead whatever is coming toward you to the light that you're already now away from.
Oh, yeah. That wouldn't be a bad idea either.
But we cut to the next morning and they're still huddled in that same spot. They just stay there all night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just out in the open ass woods.
Just how long have we been here?
Who's the president?
Which, yeah, they're literally sitting all looking around and they're waiting for sunup. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But also there's like no fucking protection here whatsoever. I don't know. I would have felt much safer going back to the tent, I guess. I don't know.
I think they're worried that whatever's there is still there, and obviously we're about to find out that it didn't leave right away.
Right. So Heather's like, "I don't hear anything anymore. I think we should go back." I mean, nah, that's their tent now. Let's never go that way again.
Well, they want to go and pack up and leave.
Yeah, she's like, "The sun's up. We're okay now." So they get back to camp, and they seem to be missing equipment. All their shit's thrown all about the camp. Apparently their water was all dumped out as well.
Mm-hmm.
They see another one of those figures on the ground, and Josh wipes some sort of slime off of a piece of equipment or his bag or something.
Yeah, it was on his backpack.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Egon, your mucus.
Yeah.
What? Have you never seen Ghostbusters, dude?
Yeah, but not.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I made a don't cross the streams joke earlier. What are you talking about?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Heather tries to figure out whose shit was thrown around. Apparently it was only Josh's. And she's like, oh, why you? Trying to turn this into another fucking detective mystery.
Right.
Because he gonna be the first to go, methinks. You know how witches work. She probably needed a personal item of one of theirs to complete their ritual
Fucking
curse.
something, yeah.
And now he's going to go running off into the night and end up in some basement staring blankly with a bunch of kids.
He could.
Go see weapons, everybody. Josh gets all pissed at Heather all over again, trying to get her to stop with the documentary making bullshit and just focus on getting out of there. And I have to agree, dude. She can't stop getting all dramatic shots at things and continuing to make the whole thing into a production when they're clearly in real danger and she could be taking it a lot more seriously.
Oh, yeah.
But we end up getting a bit of a reveal on why that might be in a minute. We'll talk about it. Mike comes over and tries to forcibly remove the camera from her hands, and she fights back until he threatens to throw her in the woods. And I'm like, she's already there, dude. That's not much of a threat. But they come to another stream they have to cross. But for this one, the log bridge they take is pretty elevated. Like, this would be a scary shuffle over to the other side, especially carrying all that equipment. And we cut to a scene with them kind of taking a break for a minute when Josh says, hey, Heather, I figured out why you like the video camera so much. It's not quite reality.
Right.
You can pretend everything's not quite the way it is through the filter of the camera. That makes a lot of sense, dude. Josh is fucking philosophizing, bro.
Right, yeah. It makes you feel better, you know. I get it.
Yeah. When he says that, Heather doesn't really have a response, probably because she knows he's right and doesn't want to admit it. But we get another shot of Josh by himself, kind of just rocking back and forth, and Heather and Mike are off a ways talking about him, and she's like, well, we can't deal with this, we gotta go. But Mike shows some compassion here. He's like, just leave him alone for like 5 minutes. He's lost it, all right? Just give him some space.
Right.
She's like, dude, we're all losing it. And Mike's like, look, we all need to be here for each other. There's no way throwing the camera in his face while he's crying is gonna help.
Right.
And while they're discussing this, Josh yells over, does anybody have a cigarette? Yeah, that's what we need now. Quick little smoke break. We'll be right as rain.
Well, he's like contemplating everything that's happening. He wants a cigarette, and then he's immediately asking, what's up with the blue jelly shit on my backpack? Which
yeah, he's just going through all the... Does anybody have a cigarette? Why was there fucking jelly shit on
Right.
Why was it on my stuff?
Why is there a monster cum on my backpack? I'm so confused. Thought you said this was a witch.
How would he know? Did he smell it?
Yeah. Tastes like monster cum.
Oh, chlorine. Josh whines about the fact that whatever goo they discovered was only all over his shit. Like, yeah, that's not cool. That would make me think one of these assholes was fucking with me.
Right.
Like either Heather or Mike. So we cut to a shot of Josh on his knees, shaking his head, saying, I don't want to set up camp another night, man. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like really reaching his breaking point. Meanwhile, Mike is dreading the thought of whatever has been messing with him coming back. He's like, it's been 3 nights in a row and it's only gotten worse every night. And he tries to drop some knowledge here, but it falls a little flat. And he's like, I think we just need to rationally say that these woods might go on forever compared to our footsteps.
Yeah.
Fucking what?
What he's saying is there's not enough time before they're going to fucking die because the woods are so big that their footsteps aren't enough.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, Heather goes back to her previous point she was trying to make. She's like, this is America. It's not possible with how much we've depleted our natural resources. Sure, but like I said, you'd be surprised how small a patch of woods it's possible to get lost in.
Yeah, she's wrong. She's an idiot.
But at the mention of America, Mike starts scream singing America the Beautiful into the trees. We cut from that into a gorgeous group rendition of the national anthem.
Right, Josh joins in.
It's like they're drunk at 1 a.m. at a karaoke bar, dude. They come to another spot in the creek where Mike recognizes the log they crossed before, and now they're going in circles for real.
Right.
Heather tries to deny that is indeed the same one, but she breaks down crying, realizing that it is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
She just sits down for a minute, like sniffling, while Josh screams, "Fuck you, God!"
Yeah.
into the sky. Boy, if I had a nickel. They have a little argument about how they got so turned around, and they don't have an answer. They walked south for a full day and nothing. Maybe they try a different direction tomorrow. We cut to a shot of Josh filming Heather, completely silent, and she just looks like she's totally deflated. She's like, what do you want to do, Josh? He's like, I want to make movies, Heather. Isn't that why we're here?
Yeah. Did you want to make some movies?
She's like, fuck you, dude. Really, fuck you. Mike's like, all right, guys, let's please not fight. I can't do it. I can't listen to it. He calls the first watch tonight.
Right.
Meanwhile, Josh has turned into Heather, trying to make his own damn motion picture.
Oh, dude, he pours gas on the fire here.
Dude, big time.
Lost and angry in the woods. Witch outside your door.
Speaking of making a movie, he tries to act like, okay, you're the actress. Here's your motivation. You're doing a shitty job, so let me help you out a little bit. You're lost, angry in the woods. There's nobody here to help you. There's a fucking witch. She keeps leaving shit outside your door, and you took one of her trinkets. We walked for 15 hours today and ended up in the same fucking spot, and he's getting louder and louder the whole time. And action!
And she starts crying.
Mike's like, all right, not cool, man. You got her back. Good one. And Josh is like, no. She's still out here trying to make fucking movies. That's my point.
Right.
And she's bawling at this point. She's like, okay, I get it. Just please stop yelling at me. It's all I have left, okay?
He still doesn't back off. Hey, you gonna write us a happy ending, Heather?
Oh my God. Yeah, Mike tries to rationalize. Like, let's stop crying and focus on what's next. We got a lot to do. And then Josh turns to Heather and says, are you going to write us a happy ending, Heather?
Yeah, you fucking better.
Holy shit, dude. Like, her face just contorts immediately and she walks away sobbing.
Right.
Like, that was fucking savage, dude.
Brutal.
Bazinga. But cut to them in the tent later talking about all the food they wish they had. Cheeseburgers and mom's mashed potatoes and a piece of ass.
Oh, yeah.
The next morning, Josh is fucking gone. Just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, dude. Really crazy, really abrupt. All of a sudden, he's just gone. And all of his shit's there, too.
Yeah, they scream out into the woods for him, but no response, obviously. I think Heather says, do you remember what he said yesterday about the shit on his bag? Yeah,
the
Heather,
goo.
What does that mean? Dun, dun, dun. She's like, we can't even find the car. How are we going to find him? What? Those are way different things.
Right.
But
the car doesn't talk back, Heather.
Car, where are you, car? They decide to just tear down the tent and wait for Josh to come back. Good fucking luck with that plan. Another shot of Heather talking to herself on the ground. Because of the POV, it ends up being a close-up of her hand, which I thought was a cool addition because of how weathered we can see it's gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as compared to the pristine condition of them before they left on the trip, it's kind of cool seeing a physical transformation or representation of the shit that they've been through.
I almost feel bad for Josh here because they decided to take his stuff with him, which is why they have the camera, the second camera.
Right.
If he wasn't hurt or whatever and he did come back and his shit was gone, he'd really be fucked.
Right.
Essentially taking his shit with you is killing him.
Yeah.
If he is alive.
1000%, yeah. So they wait for what feels like a really long time, but then they decide to head out without Josh. And Heather doesn't know how the fuck they're going to lug all the extra equipment now. Good call. That's going to suck. It's just two bodies carrying, it's a 3-people job and there's only
Right.
2, Mike's just like, leave it here, dude. She's like, nah, dog, we can't just leave the camera. And then there's one of my favorite lines in the movie. It just cuts to another shot of them sitting outside and she's like, how do you feel about East? The most deadpan delivery of this movie.
Right. Well, the Wicked Witch of the West was the bad one. So let's go east.
Yeah, Mike mentioned, he returns the question. He's like, well, South didn't work. He's like, which Wicked Witch was worse? The Wicked Witch of the East or the Wicked Witch of the West? She's like, the Wicked Witch of the West was the bad one. He's like, all right, then let's go east.
Right.
They're walking for a while when they stop for a drink and hear something in the distance. They start calling out for Josh again. Of course, no answer. But we cut to them once again lackadaisically setting up this fucking tent. Like, oh my God, I've had it up to here with this goddamn tent. I'll never set foot in a Bass Pro Shop again. I swear to fuck. But they once again sit there talking about all the things that they want. Mike says he wants a meatball, just a singular meatball.
Shit, yeah.
And a long glass of red wine. And Heather's super on board with that. She's like, I'll have a bottle of Bordeaux, please.
Bordeaux.
Made me think of the cartoon with the characters stranded on a desert island and they start hallucinating that the other one is food.
Oh, yeah.
Like a shot on whoever it was, and then their head stays the same, but their body just turns into a deliciously roasted Thanksgiving turkey, like in a little thought bubble.
Right.
Mike mentions, oh yeah, pack of smokes too. Can't forget about those. And Heather says she wants a long hot bath and a big pumpkin pie with ice cream. Mike asks her what her favorite thing to do is on a Sunday. And she's like, well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and it ain't no more. driving through the woods and going hiking.
Yeah, fuck that. Think you might have ruined it.
Yeah, I might not be too keen on that in the future. But we cut to the two of them, waking up in the middle of the night once again, this time to the pained screams of their friend. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, fucking crazy.
They can hear Josh calling out to someone, and it sounds like he's actively being tortured by Leatherface.
Yeah.
They open up the tent and call out to him, but no response, just keeps screaming in torment. And they argue for a minute about which direction the sound's coming from, and then they go looking for him. Mike gets concerned. He's like, I don't know if that's really him. Like, it's some sort of fucking, like, siren situation or whatever.
Yeah, they decide just to hunker down, and it's so funny, kind of. You know what I mean? Just that don't fall asleep. It's all right. I can't. You know, and they come to the conclusion too that can't be Josh.
Yeah, like their screams for Josh are getting increasingly intense at the end of that last scene, and it's like they're descending further and further into madness.
Right.
And back in the tent, Heather's like begging Mike, like, hey, please don't fall asleep. And he's like, yeah, fucking right, dude. How am I supposed to sleep?
Yeah, no shit.
She's still holding out hope they can still find Josh and go home. I don't know, dude. It wasn't sounding very good.
No.
But Heather turns on the camera again in the morning, confirms that Mike is still there, and when she opens and exits the tent, what the fuck is this? There's just a big old bundle of sticks right outside the door.
Yeah, wrapped in like twine and looked like a little fucking bow. Nice little present.
Well, I tell you what I think that is. She calls out to Mike to come and look at it, and upon further inspection, it looks like it's wrapped in strips of a flannel shirt.
Oh, that's what that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Josh dead for sure.
Josh,
He
now
did. He
bad.
ain't gonna make it. Josh, now good.
Yeah.
Heather tosses the bundle out behind the tent and behind a log just to try to do away with it. And we cut to Mike rocking back and forth like he's in the fucking loony bin. He's like, well, just keep walking. Big ol' smile on his face. He's like, I found some cigarettes. They were all the way at the bottom of my pack, which means we're still alive because we're smoking.
Yeah, which kind of made me think differently about this whole thing. Are they still alive?
Oh.
I mean, we think they are,
dead
but
at this point? I mean, it's on
like,
camera.
Right, but just all of it is kind of
Found footage, Jason.
You just find another pack of smokes. Like you haven't set up camp.
I mean, maybe
I don't
one
know.
of them fell down to the bottom. And just got,
maybe they already died, and this is hell, man.
well, you
Some
know,
like as
I feel
above,
like
so
there should
below
be cigarettes
shit.
in hell. Okay.
Yeah, I fucking hope so.
Because I'm definitely going. They share a cigarette and just sit there rocking back and forth together for a minute. And they're kind of like, huddled together. And she then goes back to inspect the bundle. And she ends up taking something out of the middle of it, wrapped in more of that same fabric. But this piece is awfully bloody because it's all full of fucking Josh bits.
Yeah, his eyeballs. I
think, yeah, there was like a couple of fingers in here, a tongue, maybe an eyeball. It was hard to tell the way she was filming.
Eye trauma for the Cenobites.
Yeah, CET. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell what was in it, but it's like, hey man, can you hold the camera still, please? I'm trying to identify body parts for my podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
But cut to Heather trying to wash the Josh off of her at the stream.
Yeah, she's washing her hands. What are you doing? Washing my hands.
She shows the camera her hand just to prove, here, look, see, nice and clean, no more blood. And Mike calls out to her again. She calls back, I'm fine, just washing my hands. I'm just looking for my mask. I got it.
Yeah.
Back at the camp, she takes it a step further and puts gloves on. She doesn't even want to look at the skin that touched the blood.
Yeah, she's like delirious now.
And now important to note that she chose not to tell Mike what she saw.
Yeah, I noted that.
So we've got two problems with that. A, Mike is not properly informed of the shit they're in, and therefore cannot make informed decisions about what he's doing from this point forth.
Right.
And two, Heather has got to carry all that weight solo now, so she's losing it, repeating shit to herself, just muttering, constantly crying, because she's carrying the weight of that knowledge.
Right.
And not sharing it with Mike.
Yeah, I don't know why she wouldn't have told him right away.
Yeah. She tries to put her pack back on, and he asks if she needs help, and her neurotic answer kind of gives him a weird vibe, though. She's like, no, I don't need any help. I'm okay. I'm just very tired, and I'm very hungry, and I'm very scared, and I want to go home. Remember that home she said she was leaving the comforts of at the beginning of the movie?
Right.
She's like, no, but we're both okay. And then we get probably the saddest moment in the movie where she's just bent over trying to get this fucking behemoth of a pack on her back.
Right.
And she kind of stops for a second and makes this little weird noise. And so pathetically goes, "Oh, my hair is caught."
Yeah.
While crying, and we see that the pack has like snagged her ponytail. For the love of fuck, Blair Witch, leave this poor woman alone. I think you've done enough. But back on the move, Heather just stops at some point, pulling the compass out of her tits, and ambles off like Frankenstein after she finds the direction she likes, looking like fucking north by east south probably.
Right.
Another cut, and Mike exclaims, 2,130 days, and he's blabbering about some bullshit about Cal Ripken being the king. Fucking, it's weird. We cut to a shot of them by the stream again. Mike is holding a big-ass leaf, and then he just takes a bite out of it.
Yeah, dude, it's been days without food.
Yeah, that's what you go for, though? I'd be trying to trap a fucking chipmunk or something. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but they're also trying to stay on the move, too. I mean, you're kind of fucked.
Can't spend too much time chasing a chipmunk. Them bitches are fast.
I guess just the fact that he sat down and decided to pick up a leaf and stare, you know, like, yeah, they done.
Yeah, we do get a gorgeous shot that kind of makes it seem like they're resigning at this point. That's the black and white camera again of the sun setting through the trees for a second before cutting to probably the most famous shot from this movie. And it's Heather in the tent, extreme close-up of her face. She's crying and trying to apologize to Josh's mom and Mike's mom and her own mom, of course.
Fucking good. She should be.
Right? She's like, "I'm so sorry, everyone. I was very naive. I'm so sorry for everything that's happened because in spite of what Mike says now, it is all my fault."
Yep.
Because it was my project and I insisted on everything. I insisted that we weren't lost, that we keep going, that we walk south. Everything had to be my way, and this is where we ended up. And it's all because of me that we're here now, hungry and cold and hunted.
Thank you.
Fuck, I love that line. Hungry and cold and hunted.
Her nostrils are flaring a lot right here, and it's very distracting.
I mean, what you gonna do, Doug? You got the camera pointed directly into your nostrils.
I feel like I could see her brain.
She's like, "I love you, Mom and Dad. I'm so sorry." And the whole time she's talking, one of her tears has streamed down her face and came to a rest at the bottom of her nose. It doesn't end there. Finally, she finishes up her apology/suicide note. And here's something outside the tent once again. So she starts intensely, like deeply sobbing, silently but intensely. Eyes darted to the right, wide with panic and fear. This is great shit, man. All from an unknown, unseen entity, too. That's some of the scariest shit. Like, any movie that can scare me without even showing me anything, now we're fucking talking.
Hell yeah.
Like, it's a big thing about, people wanting too much information on, Michael Myers' backstory. Oh, let's see his fucking childhood, and let's see fucking what happened. How did he end up the way that... Don't fucking worry about it. It was at its best in 1978 when John Carpenter just wrote it as an elemental fucking being. You don't have any reasons for why he's doing what he's doing, and that's fucking scarier. Leave it alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
While she's crying her ass off and hyperventilating, she mentions, "I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them." Like, damn, that's fucking deep too.
You're fucked.
But here's where we get the infamous snot scene that everybody could not shut up about when this movie came out. And of course, we got like the Scary Movie parody as well that ramps it up to fucking 11. But this poor girl is losing her mind, crying uncontrollably. She's like, "I'm going to die out here." And then back to black. They wake up in the tent once again, and Josh is yelling from, some distance away. This is really creepy, man. It keeps coming from exactly far enough away, regardless of where they've set up the tent, to where it sounds kind of far and kind of close at once.
Right.
Like, just enough to make somebody think that if they go to investigate, they might be able to help. They might be able to find something. They might be able to find their friend.
Yeah.
But you can't do it, dude. It's a trap. She's going to get you.
It's the Blair Witch.
They grab the cameras and head off toward the sound, and I found it interesting that the volume of the voice, Josh's voice, never changes in this little segment. Like, he didn't sound far to begin with, but the further they walk toward it, you would expect it to get louder. But it just remains just out of reach the whole time.
See, and I forgot that you didn't have subtitles because earlier on in the movie, everything's kind of inaudible. You can hear branches or whatever. And then as we got further into the movie, after Josh was gone, you could hear him screaming. Right. Well, in this scene particularly, we hear him yell, "Somebody!"
Mm.
And then, "Please!" So it's like clear this time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I guess you probably wouldn't have caught that, but
I didn't.
So when they go to look, that's like, oh, that can't be him. But now it's fucking clear, like that's Josh's voice,
Right.
and it's audible this time.
Yeah.
And then he even, I feel like right before they see the house, it's "Please follow my voice." So it's like clear as shit.
Right, but also it's a little too convenient. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, is that what I should do? Should I follow your fucking voice?
Right.
Okay.
So that's why Mike's like, "Oh yeah, come on," and she's like, "Oh, that like, don't go in that house." He's
Right.
like, "Josh is in here." I heard it's because
Yeah.
it's fucking clear now.
Right. Yeah, they stumble upon this house way out here in the exact middle of nowhere. A shitty old rundown house, but a house indeed. I thought it looked like, at first, like a symbol of some kind was painted on the door in blood, but it's just a huge pile of discarded lumber barricading the door from the outside, basically.
It looked like it was like a little roof, like
Oh,
perch was
collapse
over the
maybe?
top. Yeah, and then there was a bunch of like tree stuff that had fell.
fucking makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't just barricaded. Everything had kind of caved in.
Either way, it doesn't look like anything I'd want to fuck with.
No, it looked sketchy to go in there. Like it might fall.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe it was the black and white that got me for a second on that. But Mike ain't afraid of no ghost. He walks right in. Heather's screaming at him as soon as he's out of sight. Like, "Mike, where the hell are you?" And
Yeah, he calls for her. "Come on, let's
Yeah.
go in." And they're kind of snooping around
This
here.
rundown
and,
old shack. Nothing but fucking bare brick and wooden slats everywhere.
Right.
Building material scraps laying all over every floor in every room.
Yeah, they kind of search just the first floor they're on. There's nothing downstairs here, and
Except,
they hear.
we do see some of those symbols that I was talking about on like the walls and door frames if you look hard enough. Like they
Ooh.
pan past them fast, hoping you maybe won't notice at first, but they were definitely there.
The Blair Witch symbols.
Yeah, it wasn't the Blair Witch symbols. It was like some sort of like Wiccan witchcraft fucking symbols of some kind.
Okay.
I don't know. It was like warding symbols
I got you.
to, keep somebody somewhere or whatever.
Right.
Did you also catch the tiny noose hanging by the one door?
I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
No, before they head upstairs, though, we get more clear audible yells from Josh,
Yeah,
yelling both Heather and Mike.
right.
So, Witch is playing games, man.
Heather's pleading with Mike to come back out and asking where he is, and he's like, "I'm right here." And the shot switches cameras to where we see Mike from the perspective of the black and white again. I thought it was a really cool effect to swap between the cameras in this scene.
Right.
Mike is on a mission to find Josh, stalking through these halls. They come into one room where the window frames don't even exist anymore, let alone the windows themselves, so they might as well still be outside.
Right.
And suddenly Josh's voice calls out to Heather from somewhere in the house. Oh shit. They think it's coming from somewhere upstairs, so they run up calling out to Josh, but when they get up there, we just get more of the same at first until we notice all the bloody child's handprints all over the walls. More symbols etched in places. This is getting fucking trippy now.
Like, was this that guy's house in the woods?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Heather finally makes it up to the top floor when Mike bolts back down yelling, "Oh, I can hear Josh from downstairs. Come on."
Yeah, he's in the basement.
Yeah. So he runs down as fast as he can, leaving Heather in his dust. And we hear a feminine voice screaming now, just as Mike passes a whole wall full of more of those symbols. He's like, "Josh, is that you down there, man?" I don't think so, unless he's doing a Daniel Stern Marv impression. But he gets down to the bottom of the basement stairs and makes one turn and goes down, as in drops to the floor. There's like a thud of some kind, and then all of a sudden his camera falls to the floor and then remains stationary.
Right.
And then we hear Heather screaming his name, and her the camera comes to a stop, like I said, and it's just motionless at that point. We cut to the black and white camera that Heather's holding. She keeps slowly making her way downstairs, yelling for Mike the whole time. And she quietly descends. When she reaches the bottom, she makes the same turn Mike did and quickly finds him in the basement, standing in the corner, facing the wall, totally still and silent.
Yeah, fuck. Her camera goes down here too.
Yeah, well, the sound design is super cool here. Like, as she comes down, there's sort of a hum on the camera, very much akin to the Paranormal Activity sound effect we talked about a whole lot when the demon approaches.
Big time.
Just like a droning hum. And she sees Mike standing there, creepy as shit, just his nose in the corner. She calls out to him a few times, freaking the fuck out, until there's another impact sound, and her camera, too, just falls to the ground, tumbles, falling sideways. And because of the fall, it fucks up the camera a little bit, causing the frame to skew, and the image is like all warbly now. And the fucking end, man.
Right.
Cut to black. That's where we leave it. The credits roll over some more creepy ambient sound, but there you have it, dude. Thoughts?
It's crazy. Before we do our overall, I got alternate endings. There's 4 of them.
Oh, really?
And it's actually really quick, too. So they were all on my Blu-ray and the special
edition release.
They were all on my Blu-ray and the they were all on my Blu-ray and the special. What the fuck? The extras?
Oh, special features.
Yeah, there we go. The special features.
There it is.
They were all on my Blu-ray and the special features, and
I'm leaving.
the first one is Mike is still standing in the corner, facing towards the wall, but there's a shit ton of the little like witch stick figures hanging all over, hanging from the ceiling and shit. So the room's just like fucking full. That was alternate ending number 1. Alternate ending number 2 is all the stick figures hanging there, also same way. But Mike is facing the camera this time instead of facing the corner.
That wouldn't work.
I thought this was going to be kind of cool because I thought maybe his eyes were going to be missing or something, or he was going to look all fucked up.
Maybe he was going to attack her.
But he just stood there and nothing happened. The same, like, she had the same drop, just the scene was shifted.
Right.
The third alternate ending was Mike was hanging from a noose in the corner.
Oh, shit.
That was pretty cool. The idea sounded good,
Yeah.
but it just didn't hit right.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Because it suggests suicide, regardless of the fact that, like, probably it wasn't him that did it to himself.
Right.
But still, you see it and you're like, oh no, he killed himself.
Like I said, the thought seemed kind of cool, but then the basement's all small and he needs to dangle. He's got to dangle.
He got a dangle.
It just didn't work. And then the last
Mike taught Heather how to dangle.
I thought this one was kind of goofy, but looked kind of cool. All of those stick figure things hanging, but Mike was levitating in the corner for this one. But I expected like a flat Exorcist, like
horizontal,
yeah, expected like but he was like almost pulled back towards the corner, and because the room is all tiny, he couldn't just float, so he was kind of spidered like. And I think if they could have stretched him out.
Yes,
it would have been
where he was just standing, like as if he was standing still, but in the air.
Right, and would have been like hunched over, kind of.
That wouldn't have been so
That
bad.
would have been a lot better, but him with his limbs kind of spidered, like that kind of ruined it too. So, moral of the story, I think they picked the right one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded him still facing the corner with the stick figures around, as long as he's still facing the corner.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing. Like, why would we have gotten that set up earlier? Like, that, oh yeah, Rustin Parr took kids down in pairs, put one in the corner while he killed the other one. Like, that was a really good callback to a creepy thing we heard at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
So yes, that's absolutely the right choice.
Right.
I do want to point out that despite the viral marketing efforts, they mention in the credits that this is a work of fiction. So that whole, the air of mystery around it's kind of ruined.
So
if you do read the credits.
Yeah, I was going to say if somebody would have just sat and watched, or everybody would have sat and watched.
Right. They could have been like, no, you idiots. They're not fucking missing. They're not dead. Look.
Right. I'm sure there was somebody yelling that the entire time this was happening,
probably,
too.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the internet also wasn't what it was today. You know, could you imagine how much harder it would have been to do what they did then now?
1,000%. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, at least. So yeah, just give me just an overall.
Dude, it's a fantastic movie. I know it gets a lot of hate.
Does it?
I think it really does.
Why?
A lot of people say this movie sucks.
I think they suck.
I do too.
Good.
I think it's a great movie.
We agree.
You don't need a big budget to make a great movie. You know, we've seen that with a lot of the stuff that we cover here. You know,
this movie was a bigger budget than I expected. We'll get to that, but
I thought it was super small.
Not like Paranormal Activity terms. We'll talk about. Continue on your assessment. We'll get to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything was really wrong with this. I mean, maybe a couple minutes that might have felt like drag, but I feel like all of it was really necessary and we wrapped up in a timely manner too.
Right.
The marketing is really what pushed all of this.
Mhm.
I was a kid when this came out, and
yeah.
I remember all of it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
I
a
think
big
it's
fucking deal.
fantastic. I highly suggest watching it's not even a remake, but there's another Blair Witch movie, not part 2, not the Book of Shadows.
No. Yeah, you're talking about the one that's just called Blair Witch.
Right. Is that, I think, like 2016-ish?
Something like that, yeah.
That's a good one too. Not a bad like kind of update, but overall this is great. I loved this movie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't agree with it, and most people would agree with that assessment. It's got an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's pretty fucking good. The critical reception, it premiered at Sundance on January 23rd, 1999 at midnight, pushing that viral marketing campaign that the actors were missing or deceased. And it did very well at Sundance, which is what prompted Artisan Entertainment to buy the rights to the film for $1.1 million.
Oh, wow.
There was a limited release in July of 99 and then a wider release later that same month. Critics ate it up, although audiences were kind of split down the middle on it, but ultimately it turns out to be fucking huge, raking in a ton of cash through both the box office and home releases. It's consistently listed as one of the scariest movies of all time, and ranked as the best found footage movie of all time by both IndieWire and Entertainment Weekly.
Damn.
Interestingly, despite the film's success, the actors did not get paid fairly according to them, and they sued Artisan Entertainment in 2000, eventually reaching a $300,000 settlement. So all that, they split it up, get $100,000 each.
Right, it's still not very much.
Which I still don't think really covers it, considering the presence the movie continues to have in the horror world to this day. The budget was initially somewhere between $35,000 and $60,000, which is a lot smaller and closer to, I think, did we settle on Paranormal Activity was like 15? Something like that. Yeah, they basically just paid for a camera and a bunch of editing, and that's the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot less than that for some reason.
So yeah, it started between 35 and 60, but after post-production, marketing, we ended up somewhere between 200,000 and 750,000. I couldn't find a concrete figure there, but
damn,
it was either a couple $100,000 or approaching $1 million.
Yeah, a lot bigger than I thought.
However, regardless of what the budget was, the box office ended up raking in $248.6 million.
Holy shit.
Obviously, there was the shitty Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 in 2000.
Right.
Not a good movie. Blair Witch, yes, in 2016, I thought was very good, leaning into some more tech elements, sort of just an update.
Right.
And that film is a direct sequel to the original, completely ignoring the Book of Shadows, thank God. There was also a TV series announced in 2017, but that's sitting with Lionsgate for the time being. And a new installment, also through Lionsgate, is in development with Jason Blum and Roy Lee producing as of April 2024.
Oh, God.
So we'll see what happens with that. I'd also like to mention this movie is credited as a huge influence on igniting the found footage genre and inspiring such films as Paranormal Activity, Wreck, Cloverfield, etc., etc. So regardless of anyone's opinion, this clearly has a huge legacy, having been spoofed over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a delightfully creepy movie. And this is the perfect time of year to throw it on, by the way, as it gets a little cooler outside and the leaves start to change and fall from the trees.
Oh, yeah.
This is a great one to put on and get some creepy ambiance in your home during spooky season. And overall, I think it's great. There's a good classically spooky tone throughout. Just going into it with the idea of, those poor kids, they have no idea something bad's about to happen to them. And you're waiting for shoes to drop the entire time. Like, that's the idea. By greeting us at the door of this movie with that text, it gets you to a place where no matter what happens over the next hour and a half, it's not going to end well for them. Their fate is already sealed and you know it.
Right.
It's just such a great headspace to force your audience into for the purposes of being receptive to something like this.
Right.
The marketing, of course, was not common for any film back then, but in an age where the internet was still relatively new to the public, I think they did some pretty brilliant things with that. Not everyone's particularly fond of the found footage thing, but I think it's become increasingly popular since this movie came out, partially because of it and movies like it. I'm always a sucker for found footage personally because of everything that I just described, but obviously the camera work isn't polished and creative as much, but it's not really supposed to be. That would take away from the realism and remind you that, it's just a movie,
right?
Which is exactly what they didn't want. So we need the audience assuming this is exactly that, found footage. And even so, I think there were some shots in this that were truly great, perhaps accidentally, but I don't think so. I think they knew what they were doing. The sound design is fantastic. Just all the nature sounds, constant crunching leaves a la In a Violent Nature. But also with the distant strains of voices on the wind, just far enough where you can only question what or who it's coming from. I think that goes a long way to keeping you afraid of the answers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's what the drive is. We want people to be anxious the entire time, nervous for what's going to happen and when and to who. Dread, fear, panic, anxiety, uncertainty. Let's just keep them guessing the entire time. And I think the fact that they don't show us the danger at all throughout the entire movie is a wonderful choice.
Yeah.
I'm also a sucker for an unseen threat like we talked about. I think it's much scarier than some big scary killer lumbering toward you. And although maybe that's still supernatural, it feels more tangible and like you can do something about it than something like this where you feel so helpless, like there's nothing you can do to prepare yourself or protect yourself because you have no idea what it is or how it operates.
Right.
I think that's a phenomenal concept for a movie, for a villain, for the looming existential threat they face. And I think the actors sold it really well. You know, it's not easy carrying a whole movie with 3 people, and they weren't even experienced. Like, they were all hired for pretty random reasons, but even so, I think they nailed it. I think everybody that had anything to do with this movie nailed it. I'm giving this one 9 out of 10 twig figures.
Low twig figures. Low Blair Witchies.
Low twig figures. I would say, if you call yourself a horror fan, you should already have this in your collection. If you don't, what are you even doing here?
Right.
Go get it now so you can be proud of yourself again. If you've never seen it, do yourself a favor and change that, because this is pretty fucking fine movie making. Even on a relatively low budget, very impressive. Hats off to you, gents, in my opinion. Slow clap.
Absolutely.
All right.
Must watch.
So at the beginning of this episode, we mentioned this is a special occasion, man. We're doing this movie by request. Someone at work had requested it, right? Mm-hmm. Before we head out, since it's our 50th episode, I'm curious, do you have any favorite moments, memories, jokes, episodes from what we've done so far through our almost 2 years of podcasting?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I thought you were asking them.
Couldn't be. I will also pass it to them, but you, Jason, I'm talking to you right now. Do you have any favorites from the podcast thus far?
Man, I go back to the puddin' quote.
The
Nick.
puddin'?
Nick, where are you? The puddin' quote.
Oh,
His
Nick.
skin tore like pudding. I don't know, man. There's a lot, you know.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so look, we're still small potatoes. We need to ramp up our marketing, certainly. But here's the deal, man. Like I said, we do this in our spare time. We both have full-time jobs. It's a fucking lot. So we release bi-weekly for the time being. We hope to change that in the future at some point. But I feel like we've done some pretty cool shit up to this point. Like we're right in the middle of September at the release of this movie, this episode rather. And this month is full of interviews. We've got every single Sunday we've got someone lined up this month, and I think that's pretty exciting with more to come on the horizon.
Yeah, we're ramping up. Halloween's next month.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3 starts next month at the end.
Hell yeah.
Big stuff's coming.
Shout out to some of the people we've already interviewed on the show. Appreciate you coming on. Megan Adara, had her on a couple of times. Justin Martin. Steve Barton, our buddy, who's basically responsible for Terrifier being in all your eye holes. We appreciate him. I'm about halfway through his book at this point. Hope to have him back to talk about it, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, we're doing the thing, man. It might not look like we're doing a whole lot of a thing, but we're doing the thing. I would have to say the thing that I was most excited about doing up to this point is probably the Doug Bradley interview, which was unexpectedly 15 minutes long. That was amazing that he was gracious enough to give us that in the middle of a horror con and, you know, a line building up, and he's, you know, nice enough to talk to us for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Go check out that interview on YouTube as well, along with some of our others. But yeah, we're definitely grateful to be here. We hope to be here for a lot longer and do a lot more, you know, different, cooler things and keep on keeping on, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
So that's about going to wrap it up for us. Thank you guys so much. Like Jason said, if you guys have any favorites from what we've done so far, any of our episodes that stick out to you, any jokes from the episode, anything you'd like to reference at all, get a hold of us at cinebitespod@gmail.com or, you know, check us out on the socials. Go ahead and send us a message and tell us what you like about the show, or, hey, what the hell, how we can improve it. We want to make it better for you guys all the time, and this is our official call out to do exactly that. But this is going to wrap it up for us. Thanks once again for hanging out, everybody. 50 episodes. Feels crazy. We appreciate you hanging out. We had a great time. We hope you did too. And as always, dreams are fleeting. Only nightmares last forever. Follow your nightmares.
Boy.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
I bid you welcome.
Thanks for listening to the Cenobites Podcast. If you like what you heard, follow us on our socials at Cenobites Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. It really goes a long way in helping us reach more listeners.
You can stream the Cenobites on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and many more popular streaming platforms and YouTube.
Questions or comments? Suggestions for future episodes? Contact us at cenobitespod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show and help us make it a better product for you, subscribe at cenobitespod.buzzsprout.com.
Until next time, keep following those nightmares. I want to apologize to Mike's mom, Josh's mom, Jason's mom, my mom, your mom.
I'm so sorry you have to listen to this episode.
Hang on.
Yeah. It looks like snot, but it's not snot. I think it's her tears.
Oh, it's not?
It's not. Yeah.
It's not.